found Radio Free Tennessee. Your Tony Basilio show will begin momentarily. Keep it locked in right here at TonyBasilio.com and on your Tony Basilio app. And hey, do us a favor. Spread the word. Another award-winning, thought-provoking, action-packed edition of the Tony Basilio Show is coming up next. Tips are always appreciated here at TonyBasilio.com, home of the Tony Basilio Show.
Listening to FM 105.7 and AM 1340, WKGN Knoxville, and W289CU Knoxville, Fan Run Radio.
Stacked, packed, and jacked, ladies and gentlemen. You better believe it. You better know it. You better write it down. We are going to give you a preview for the ages today, firing you up, focusing you, and preparing you. We've got a play-by-play voice of SMU basketball. Get ready to join us. We are fired up, focused, and prepared. His name is Rich Phillips. John Adams is in the house after writing a rather lengthy piece on Rusty Staub, who, along with Faison Brandon and GMAC, along with our alleged offensive coordinator, will be meeting the media after today's practice. I've got Matt Dixon in the house, who's fired up, focused, and prepared. Brian Hartman's here as well. Mark Griffin in hour number 2. Sounds like we're pretty busy today, John. What do you think?
Well, I think you're always pretty busy. And when I come in here, I sense it because just walking through the doors here, it's a busy place.
Tell the living listener what I was doing today when you walked through here, because I'm trying to work something out now.
You're
a little behind the scenes here on me.
And I'm sure they will be enthralled by this. You'll be performing tonight at Calhoun's on the River.
That's correct.
It's going to be an Irish concert.
That's right. We're playing. Well, we got to mix some Irish stuff into our set because tonight's St. Patty's Day, and we're going to celebrate. We're out there at 5:30 tonight. I hope Matt Dixon comes by after the ball game. But yeah, we're going to be there. Jennifer Morris has now entered the chat over at YouTube. Good gosh almighty, we've hit the big time.
Really?
But here's the thing.
Slow day for Jennifer, I guess.
We have a lot to talk about. Matt, this SMU team, if we get them Friday, are they dangerous or no? Or are we going to put them down like they're not even there? What do you think?
Every team you see in the tournament's dangerous when you're a 6 seed.
That's right. B.J. Edwards, Matt, that Tennessee thinks this is kind of a ruse. Do you think he plays? What are your instincts on that?
I would guess no. But I have no insight there. I hope for his sake he does.
Yep.
And he's able to.
Yep.
Just because, he's a local kid. He's a senior.
Great
especially
story.
If they were to win and they face Tennessee. If he doesn't play, that would be that would be a really sad deal for him. So I hope he can play, but I kind of doubt it with all these guys. That if you haven't played in the last month or couple of weeks, it's hard. It's hard to be in any kind of shape to be a positive impact on your team.
What kind of matchup you think we are for them before Rich Phillips calls, Matt? Or they are for us, I should say.
Well, they've got dynamic guards that, besides Edwards, who can provide a challenge for Tennessee. Tennessee's had a lot of trouble with those athletic guys that can attack the rim. I think that'll be a challenge.
Yes.
But Tennessee should be able to have a huge advantage inside
Yep.
So it'll just kind of come down to, can Ament and Gillespie carry you against SMU's guards?
I really want to talk about how big Faison Brandon is. Think I should ask the SMU play-by-play guy about that, or you think that would be a little off-putting for him if I said, hey,
very off-putting.
We want to deviate here and get into what you think of Faison Brandon, because really that's what people want to talk about, and how big that kid is.
Yeah.
God!
Is he bigger than Joe Milton?
It's unbelievable, Andy, how big he is, Matt.
How much does he weigh, Tone?
Oh, my gosh. He looks like he weighs 250. He's a man's man.
How much has he put on since the new sprint coach got here?
Well, I tell you what, G-Max Tapeworm in here is now entered the chat, and he said he ate 4,000 of G-Max calories today. So we got G-Max Tapeworm in our YouTube chat, John. Jennifer Morris is in there mixing it up with G-Max Tapeworm today. John, would you suggest that to Jennifer Morris, nextmove.SmokyMountains.com, who does present John on a weekly basis and does it proudly. And before you buy, sell, or trade a house, you want to make sure you go with the great Jennifer Morris, and you will bow thy head when you say thy name.
Yeah, I want to go back to your intro.
Yep.
And maybe this is a running gig you have where you do this. I wrote a column recently on Ryan Staub, the transfer quarterback from Colorado, and I noticed that you referred to him as Rusty Staub, a former Astros baseball player. Yes. Do you do that intentionally, or
no? It just all slips out of my mouth. It all runs together.
Yeah, well,
one
I'd
stop,
like that
two stops,
too.
3 stops, $1.
Yeah, I was on with Paul Feinbaum yesterday on SEC Sports Network.
Yeah,
and Paul referred to him twice as Rusty Staub. It's just one of those names that sticks with you.
It's like Rich Phillips. This guy here now joins us. He was the president of the Umpires Union at one time. But, Rich, you're a different Rich Phillips, yes? As I welcome Rich Phillips in. Different Rich Phillips, yes, sir?
Yes, absolutely.
Thank you. Yeah, he doesn't want to be in the middle of that stuff. Rich, you're calling the game for SMU. In fact, tomorrow night in the late session. I'll tell you one thing about the NCAA tourney. First things first. They're not doing SMU any favors. Let's play in the late window, and then we'll deviate as we have in recent years as I welcome you in. And by the way, Tony Basilio at your service. John Adams is here. Brian Hartman and Matt Dixon. There's a lot of moving parts in here. But, Rich, congratulations to SMU. How excited are you to be back in the NCAA tourney?
Very. This is my 21st season calling the games, and my third NCAA game I have been to. They went in 15 and they went in 17 and went one and done both of those years. So these bids have been few and far between in the last 30-some-odd years for SMU, so it's a pretty big deal for us.
And the environment in Dayton, Ohio tomorrow night, an opportunity to kind of get a leg up. I think that's sort of an advantage at times to play one of those play-in games because you get a chance to sort of ramp it up. But then again, if SMU is fortunate enough to get by, and you never count anything, as you know, in these deals, then you got to turn around and play that quick turnaround in Philadelphia, like 4 o'clock in the afternoon. Like, I mean, were you surprised when you saw that?
No, not really, because it seems, I don't think they worry too much about what those play-in teams have to do next, where they fit into the bracket. So wasn't too surprising. I know it's a quick turn here because if you win tomorrow night, you're immediately getting on the plane to go to Philadelphia for the Friday game. And, it beats the alternative, that's for sure.
Walk us through that, the itinerary, because we were trying to calculate that yesterday on the air. It feels like you guys would get to Philly about 4 o'clock in the morning, something like that. Would it be you get right on the airplane? Is that how it works?
Yeah. Basically, whoever wins that game tomorrow is getting on the plane that's sitting at the airport and going to Philadelphia. It's going to take either Miami or SMU. And we don't even have an itinerary. It tells us what time we get there. We just get there when we get there, I suppose, and get ready for a practice on Thursday, hopefully, and ready for a game on Friday afternoon.
So, John, they have a airplane waiting at the tarmac for them, and they just get on the airplane, no questions asked. Your plane's at the airport. You better get to the airport and get on the plane.
NCAA tournament teams have special privileges.
That's what I'm hearing.
Yeah.
Flying at 4 o'clock in the morning to the city of Brotherly Shove isn't one of them.
No, I mean, imagine if you had to do that on your own. Exactly.
That's what especially these days. I guess they don't put them through the TSA checkpoints right now. You might not get to Philly till the way the thing's working right now till like Friday afternoon. But let's talk about this SMU club. First of all, we love B.J. Edwards here. He was a really, 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 really solid player when he was here. Tennessee was kind of crushed when he transferred. They wanted to keep him, and he sort of blossomed there. Tell me about what you've seen in B.J. Edwards.
His first year here as a sophomore was under the previous coaching staff here,
Yep.
and they started him at point guard, but didn't give him a huge role in the offense. They played about 18 minutes a game, was 3 points, 3 boards, 3 assists. And then when Andy Enfield came in before his junior year as the head coach, and he told Andy he wanted to stay here, and he told him what he needed to do to get to work to play. And to BJ's credit, he's done it. I mean, he is, and as we've seen here, he's missed the last 5 games with an ankle injury at SMU, lost 4 of those, only had 1 win against Syracuse at the conference tournament last week. He is a vital part to what's been going on here. He's the 3rd leading scorer on the team, 2nd in assists, 2nd in rebounds. He's top 15 in the country in steals per game. And when I went back and watched a game recently, it was the first time we played Syracuse before we played them in the conference tournament. I watched that game back. And I was like, man, the offense just flows so well when BJ's on the floor. And the defense is so much better because that's where it really is his specialty. So he's a really key part to this team. We'll see for sure if he's going to be back tomorrow night or not. We're not 100% sure yet, but he'd be a huge piece to put back in the lineup.
Yeah, it's really interesting you'd say that because obviously the word from the program is that he's going to play, but it seems like it's in fashion now as a run-up to these tournaments to sort of say everybody's healthy, everybody's going to play. Duke's done that too. Everybody's healthy, everybody's going to play. It sounds to me, Rich Phillips, you being the play-by-play voice there, that you're of the mindset of, well, let's wait and see what happens.
I think that's kind of where we're all at. There's no doubt that I believe he could play this week. Is it tomorrow? We'll see. We'll have to see how he reacts with practice today. They're heading out here in a few minutes,
Yep.
But they're absolutely doing everything they can to have him back on the floor. And I know he's been really working hard himself. So everybody certainly is very hopeful to see him out there tomorrow night.
I'm so excited for him to get the opportunity maybe to play against Tennessee if it comes to that on Friday. I think that's just what's great about the tournament, John.
Yeah, there are usually so many good storylines going into an NCAA tournament.
Yeah.
That's just one of them. But and now with the transfer portal being so active everywhere, you could have former players meeting up with current players
all over the place.
All over the place, yeah.
Yeah, and it's great. The one thing about him, and then I'm going to get to the ball club itself and the guys we know that are available, because that's a kind of a potentially a little bit of an interesting game for Tennessee from the standpoint of can they keep this team in front of them if it comes to that on Friday in Philly. But I saw where he was like on one of the all-league teams in the ACC defensively. Really grew in that aspect of his game, didn't he, B.J. Edwards?
That's really been his specialty from the time he got here. And last season, he set SMU's single-season record for steals,
Yep.
and he was going to break it this year before he got hurt. That kept him a little bit short of it. But like I said, he's still, I think, top 15 or so in steals per game. But he has a real knack for it because he doesn't necessarily gamble and get himself out of position when he misses on the steal. He knows he's going to get the ball when he does it, but he can also just keep his guy in front of him, and he can. Even at 6'3", he can guard bigger players when needed because this is primarily a 3-guard team with Boopie Miller and Jerron Pierre as playing alongside BJ.
Yeah.
But sometimes when they need the bigger guy guarded in the mismatch, BJ can handle it, and he's really become a good team leader here the last couple of years as well, and started to be a lot more vocal with his teammates, and he leads by example too because he just plays and works so hard.
Best thing about watching college basketball is you watch these kids grow and you see them vocally start to kind of grow into their own, come into their own on the court. You kind of watch that body language grow. As Rich Phillips from SMU's play-by-play joins us, you talked about Boobie Miller a second ago. He scares me. We have trouble keeping guards in front of us, and he's a get downhill guy, yes?
Absolutely. That's how he's scoring 19 points a game. I mean, he can hit a 3 on you as well, but he does a really good job of, he can come around that screen and get you on his hip, and then he's going to the basket because you're not going to get back around him. And he also is really good. He's only 6 foot tall, but he can really play well when he gets inside and find some way to curl through big defenders to find his shot down there. And then he's among the leaders in assists in the ACC on top of it as well, because he can certainly drive and kick, and this team has 3-point shooters that can make you pay for that.
Matt Diskin, jump in here with Rich Phillips, SMU's play-by-play guy who will be on the call tomorrow night in the late time slot up in Dayton. Of course, the play-in round gets underway tonight, but they'll be going off last tomorrow night up in Dayton.
Yeah, thanks, Rich, for joining. Obviously, SMU struggled here down the stretch without B.J. Edwards, but just over the season, when things are going right for them and they're playing really well, are there any kind of tendencies that stand out that they do well in those spots? And then on the flip side, when they have struggled, are there anything that kind of sticks out that they struggle with?
A lot of it has to do with sharing the ball, and it's not just the point guard, but B.J. Edwards, we just talked about, is second on the team with assists, almost 5 a game this year. When they share the ball, that's when they get really dangerous. They're one of the top scoring teams in the country because they have 5 guys that average in double figures. And a good example is when they played at Louisville earlier in the conference schedule, they lost that game. They had, in the second half, they had 2 assists and 10 turnovers in the game. About 3 weeks later, Louisville came to SMU and played in Dallas, and a complete flip-flop. They had one of their top assist game of the season, and they beat them, I think it was 95-85 in that game. If they share the ball, they're going to be good on offense, and when they don't share the ball, that's when they can get in trouble.
John Adams, anything for our special guest here, Rich Phillips, play-by-play voice SMU?
Yeah, Rich, what kind of teams cause SMU the most trouble?
That is an interesting question. I think if you get really physical with them, it can be problematic for them sometimes. Not that they can't be physical with you too, but physical guy, because their 4-man Corey Washington is a little bit undersized at 6'6", and if he can be forced outside more, that can be a bit of a problem. And if you really stay physical out on their guards, it can be difficult for them to find their room to get inside. But physical play can slow them down a little bit more, I think, than other teams can.
John's sort of going for it. That's Tennessee's calling card. I mean, they beat on teams. Tennessee's not going to finesse anybody. They have a big front line. It's crazy how with their front line, how inefficient they can be at times. But yeah, they kind of beat on teams. So that's a type of team that would have some success against SMU this year.
Yeah, that could be part of the issue. They do have certainly a big man inside, the 7'2" center, Samet Yigitolu, and I will say he has really improved as the season has gone on with holding his spot down on the low block and able to work his way into the lane a little bit more. And he's got a pretty good little hook shot that he can go to shoot over anybody. But if you can bump him off, and they've got a couple other guys that, if you really stay physical with them, it can slow them down a little bit more.
Hey, Rich, I know you've got to run, and I really appreciate you taking some time for us. Quick preview, tomorrow night's game, as you've looked at Ohio a little bit, Miami of Ohio, which, by the way, gave us the great Ray Mears back in the day, kind of the father of SEC, of Tennessee basketball anyway. From your perspective, Rich, how do you see that matchup?
It looks like a wild offensive matchup could be coming our way because SMU averages 85 a game. They were second in the ACC in scoring, and Miami, I believe, is second in the country in scoring. They score more than 90 points a game. They're a terrific shooting team. They do a lot of it from 2-point range too, but I expect this to be a pretty up and down game and a real high scoring game between these two tomorrow night.
Hey, listen, we really appreciate you taking some time for us. Hey, I hope we see you guys in Philly on Friday.
Hope so. Beats the alternative for sure.
That's what they all say. Thank you, my man.
Yep.
Thank you.
You got it.
Great Rich Phillips one more time. Hey, Matt, this Booby Miller guy, if it comes to that, could be a real handful for us the more I look at them.
Yeah. I think he's a guy who can attack Tennessee. And they have enough 3-point shooting to where if you overhelp, like Tennessee will tend to do, that could be an issue if they're making shots. And it's certainly not going to be a game where I think you can score in the in the 60s and win.
Hey, John,
SMU or Miami, against either of them, I think you'll have to get into the 70s and have your guys score.
Jack and Easton, by the way, are both getting 5 minutes in the box over on YouTube. Hey, John, isn't it interesting how people are pretending like B.J. Edwards is going to play, but their play-by-play voice wouldn't come on here and sell for that? I thought that was interesting.
I wonder if that begins leading into the tournament, because nobody wants to be penalized or miss big. SMU barely made it. You don't want people to think you might lose a key player.
That's exactly right. That's the new thing now.
So that's the message you said. We're good. Everybody's healthy.
Everybody's healthy.
Yeah, and so and then if you do make the tournament, you can't suddenly turn around and say, we were just kind of kidding about that. He won't be able to play. No, you can't do that. So
we're already in.
You got to continue the line.
Last minute.
Do what, Matt? Yeah, let's fly Auburn.
Let's fly Auburn in last minute. Auburn's on standby at the Opelika Airport.
Bruce Pearl, I would say I feel sorry for your son, but I really don't, as we continue with more after this.
When it's time for your next move, you want to get your precious belongings from point A to point B with your peace of mind intact. That's why you need to call my friends at Gufon Moving and Storage, East Tennessee's moving legend. Gufon Moving and Storage has been helping East Tennesseans move since 1887. That's 138 years, 5 generations. That's even longer than the Dooley, Jones, and Pruitt era combined. Gufon Moving and Storage are pro movers, serving Knoxville, surrounding areas, and interstate moves too, both residential and commercial. And we'll provide you with personalized service that other corporate movers simply cannot. We know how to move all types of items. We pay careful attention to our clients' valuables. Your satisfaction as a customer is our absolute priority. As the oldest continually owned and operated family moving business in the United States, when it's time for your next move, it's Gufon Moving and Storage. And storage, it's secure and vaulted. Our newest offering of commercial storage logistics, we offer receiving, storage, and delivery services for all your business logistic needs. See more at Gufon.com. That's Gufon.com. Or check out the link at tclub.team. When it's time for your next move, East Tennessee's moving legend, Gufon Moving and Storage.
Life never stops moving. And between the 30-minute commutes, daycare pickups, weekly soccer practice, Tuesday night yoga, X number of coffee runs, and that weekend trip to Grandma's, you're racking up the miles. What you need is a tire that can keep up. A tire designed for doers. A tire that's going to last. Like the exceptionally long-lasting Michelin Defender tire. With an 80,000-mile warranty and the safety and comfort you expect, you can forget all about the miles ahead and focus on getting to your destination or conquering your to-do list. Fleet Tire, I-275 exit 1B at East Woodland Avenue in Knoxville. That's Fleet Tire, I-275 exit 1B at East Woodland Avenue in Knoxville. Fleet Tire.
Inward Half is committed to the game and the memorable moments that happen in between. From the tee box to the tailgate, from the green to the big game. For the first birdie with Dad, the first big win with Mom. Friday night lights, Saturday superstitions, Sunday traditions. Fall into the comfort and unparalleled performance of Inward Half. This fall, enjoy the walk-in.
Are you tired of hiding your smile because of crooked teeth? At Knoxville Smiles, we've got the perfect solution. Invisalign. No metal, no wires, just clear, comfortable aligners that straighten your teeth without anyone noticing. Eat what you want, smile with confidence, and see results in as little as 6 months. Call us today for more information about Invisalign, 865-539-1776, or just visit us online at knoxvillesmiles.com. Smile brighter with Knoxville Smiles.
Fan Run Radio, where Big Orange Country comes to talk sports. Start your morning off with your daily dose of talk sports with John Reed and Cody McClure from 8 to 11. Then it's Tony Basilio from 11 to 1. The Playbook with William Pattison from 1 to 3. And The Drive from 3 to 6. It's 10 hours of hard-hitting local sports radio every day.
Out-of-town law firms have been swarming into East Tennessee lately. From Memphis, Chattanooga, and Birmingham, they've stormed into the area. Wouldn't you rather do business with a local firm? You know, a true neighbor. Marcos Garza and the pros at the Garza Law Firm are just that. There are neighbors and friends that support local causes year-round. The Garza Law Firm works to serve you professionally on criminal matters, injuries and accident matters, and Social Security and disability filings. The Garza Law Firm is here for you at garzalaw.com. The Garza Law Firm. Let us help.
Start the new year with comfort and savings from Pipe Wrench Home Services. Tired of high energy bills and constant heating and AC repairs? Ready for a more efficient home? There's never been a better time to upgrade your comfort and take control of your energy costs. Upgrade your HVAC system now with Pipe Wrench Home Services and make no payments until 2027. A new energy efficient system means lower bills, fewer breakdowns, and peace of mind for years to come. And with Pipe Wrench Home Services same-day service guarantee, you won't wait to start enjoying a more comfortable home. Your comfort isn't just our job, it's our promise. Upgrade your HVAC system now with Pipe Wrench Home Services and make no payments until 2027. Schedule your free estimate today at pipewrench.com. Pipe Wrench Home Services, trusted in Knoxville, Maryville, Oak Ridge, and neighboring communities for over 20 years. Same-day service guaranteed, or the visit is free. Offer good with approved credit. Some restrictions apply. Visit pipewrench.com for details.
Hey, I'm Alan, and we ship floors on Bristol Highway in Johnson City. Are you tired of walking around on that ratty-looking carpet that you have? Well, today's your lucky day because we have Supercore on sale for $1.79. 58 colors we're liquidating. Supercore is the best waterproof floor with a lifetime warranty. Where are you going to find that anywhere else? Nowhere, let me tell you. $1.79 lifetime warranty. Come on down to Bristol Highway on your truck and trailer and let's make a deal.
Gotta love this time of the year. Hoops here, home runs over there, and you've got to get your Tennessee on. And there's only one place, the best place to shop for your officially licensed Tennessee volunteer gear, Alumni Hall. Hands down, the best store for Vol fans. They've got the latest and greatest apparel for the entire family. Hats, man cave items, decor, and more. Get your Vols grill cover, a plate for your burgers, and of course, that chef's apron for all that outdoor grilling this spring. And accrue those rewards and watch your balance grow online or on the app. We'll see you at Alumni Hall and alumnihall.com and G to the B to the O, Alumni Hall. I want to remind you as we welcome you back tonight, I'm at Calhoun's on the River playing some live music from 5:30 till 8:30 with my friends at Fountain City Ramblers. We're going to have a lot of fun. We've mixed some Irish stuff into our set, like the Irish washerwoman. Adams heard me trying to get that under my fingers when he came in here, which was not going well, but it will by the time we hit the main stage tonight at Calhoun's on the River. It'll be going well. In the meantime, ladies and gentlemen, another international man of mystery now joins. We continue our preview of that play-in game tomorrow evening, and now joining us, friend of the program, Chase Souter, Cincinnati Enquirer. He's based in Oxford, Ohio. He covers Miami of Ohio for that fine publication. And Chase, I welcome you in on this Tuesday. John Adams, a print legend, is in the house today. Matt Dixon's in the house. Brian Hartman, a legend in his own right, is in the house. And how does it feel, my friend, to be a part of this NCAA tournament, this festivities?
Well, first of all, thanks for having me on. But, man, it's been an incredible ride. 31-0 in the regular season. Really improbable set of circumstances. Really thrilled to get this opportunity for the entire university and the program to get up to Dayton for our first four game. It'll be really exciting.
What was the way Bruce Pearl's comments? How were they greeted when he singled that club out and kind of went into business for his son Stephen? And by the way, may I say, ineffectively so. It fell on deaf ears, as it should have fallen on deaf ears. It was a disgrace. It was deplorable. It was disgusting. It was wretched, and it was off-putting. But how did it fall up there in Oxford when it happened?
Well, it certainly caused quite a stir. I will say that. Head coach up here, Travis Steele, and most of the players were asked about it. They all said they're, keeping it off to the side. They're not letting the outside noise get in. But they were familiar with the comments. It had definitely been brought up to them before. They had seen it on their timeline. You may have seen Miami's athletic director, David Saylor, going viral. He went on Barstool. He was all over the internet calling Pearl out. It was a heated argument between those two online, and Saylor ends up winning out, and Miami gets in the field. Auburn doesn't. So got to like the outcome there for Miami.
We were tracking it every step of the way. That Miami team, man, they just know how to win games. Like, the margin of victory wasn't great, and you'd be able to say, well, they didn't have any quad one wins and this, that, and that's true. I mean, but you beat who's in front of you. You play your schedule. You win all the games. It's hard to deny that team. How surprised were you when they got upset in the tournament, and what went wrong for them in that tournament game?
Yeah, so the tournament was obviously a disappointing result, but not necessarily a completely shocking result. They'd already played UMass, who's a team that bounced them twice in the regular season, and both of those games had been really close affairs. Won by 2 points at home, and then had to pull away in the final 3 minutes up in Amherst. So it was everybody knew that these were going to be competitive teams in a competitive game. The way it broke down was a bit surprising. Miami led by 11 late in the second half, and then just kind of fell apart. UMass dominated them on the glass, 17 offensive rebounds, 23 second chance points. So it was the interior that really let Miami down, and they end up getting bounced in the first game of the tournament.
Absolutely next level to be joined by the one, the only, as Chase Sauter joining us, Cincinnati Enquirer. He'll be on the scene up in Dayton, which will be a great... We just had the play-by-play voice of SMU on. I said, what do you think about this game tomorrow night? He said, absolute track meet. He said, I'm basically... He made it sound like I'm going to rest my voice because I'm going to need it tomorrow night because there's going to be a lot of scoring in that basketball game. Is that how you read it?
Yeah, that is absolutely how this game is at least projected to go down. These are two of the top scoring offenses in the country, and neither of them are particularly interested in defense. Miami scores over 90 points a game, SMU over 82 points a game. If this game doesn't reach the 80s, it will be a big surprise.
Tell me about Miami, and as we see them on the main stage tomorrow night, shout me out a couple guys that you think will put an imprint on that game if they're successful.
Yeah, so the biggest thing that will have to happen for them to be successful will be Antoine Woolfolk underneath. 6'9" center for the Red Hawks will have a big challenge ahead of him. SMU's got a 7'2" center who is an offensive rebounding machine. So Woolfolk will have to really keep him off the glass. As far as the offense is concerned, it's really anyone's guess where it's going to come from. Miami, one of the best offenses, but they have 6 players in double-digit scoring. Their leading scorer, 14.6 points a game. That's MAC Player of the Year, Peter Suter. Ian Elmer is another name to shout out. He's a junior wing for the Red Hawks. He averages over 12 and can really shoot from deep. And they get really good play from their sophomore point guard, Luke Skaljak, who's been dealing with a right wrist injury but seems to be back to mostly full strength. He actually started the year as a backup but had to come in when Evan Ipsaro went out with an ACL injury, and he's played at a second-team all-conference level. He's really been a standout player as he came into the lineup mid-season.
Matt Diskin, jump in here with our special guest who joins us courtesy of the Cincinnati Enquirer. It's Chase Sauter, who covers Miami of Ohio. Go ahead, Matt.
Yeah, it just seems like a really well-balanced offense with, just kind of whoever gets the open shot. Like, what kind of offense does Miami run to get all these good looks? Because they have just really incredible numbers offensively shooting from 2, from 3. They take a lot of threes. Like, what kind of style of offense can we expect to see?
Yeah, so they are, I'd say, a perimeter first team, but they don't rely exclusively on the three-point shot. They, in many ways, resemble an Alabama team that you all might be familiar with down there. Mm-hmm. They shoot a lot of threes. They make a lot of threes. Miami is a little bit better at cutting inside and trying to get mid-range shots, which I know Alabama hates to take at all, but you'll see Peter Suter, Luke Skaljek, they will often drive in and step back for a little 15-footer that they're really good at. It's a lot of ball handler drives and cuts. There's not quite as many assists as I'm sure Travis Steele would like, but again, in that respect, they're very similar to Alabama in terms of the player gets the ball and they find a way to get their own shot.
Like the maybe like the Alabama team minus the enterprising young man that got, shall we say, in a snafu yesterday. As you know, you got to love enterprising young men that are making like $700,000 playing basketball, but still finds the time for that. As Chase Souter joins, Miami of Ohio doesn't have a lot of size. How do they compensate for it?
Well, that'll be the big question. That was their kind of Achilles heel in their only loss of the season against UMass. They really struggled to protect the paint, to get off or defensive rebounds, and UMass really made them pay. They scored 54 points in the paint in that win. It was definitely top of mind for Travis Steele up here, who has acknowledged they really need to increase their physicality, and it'll have to be an entire team effort should they win on Wednesday and go down to face the Volunteers in Philadelphia. They'll be undersized across the board, so they will have to crash the glass as an entire unit in order to keep Tennessee off the boards.
John Adams, jump in here with our special guest. Go ahead, John Adams of the Knoxville News Sentinel, absolute living legend.
Chase, you mentioned up-tempo, a lot of guys that can score, shoot a lot of threes. How deep do they go? How many players will they play in an average game?
They do have quite a rotation there. I mean, I would say that there's probably 8 guys that you have to be worried about from a scoring perspective every night. They'll probably get 9 players in, if I had to guess, on Wednesday, but 8 guys who have really shown themselves to be significant scoring threats at any given moment. And a lot of that comes from the guard position. They are certainly less deep at the forward spots. Antoine Woolfolk is really their enforcer underneath, and they have a little bit of extra height with Brant Byers and Almar Atlison, but those 2 players are really more of wings who shoot and like to play on the perimeter more and don't really have the strength to out-rebound underneath.
Yeah, see, that would be my big fear. Like, if I'm in an Ohio camp, Miami of Ohio, I think to myself, okay, we win Tuesday or win Wednesday. That's a fun story. We play Tennessee. That's a different kettle of fish. I mean, Tennessee's got a huge front line. They rebound the ball at a historically good pace, or at least they did for much of the season. That seems like that'd be a really, really, really rough day for Miami of Ohio.
Yeah, it's almost hard to imagine a worse first-round matchup for Miami specifically with Tennessee's really great defense and rebounding ability. As far as what they have going for them in that potential matchup, it really comes down to history as far as 6 seeds have not historically done very well against 11 seeds, at least since 2016.
It's true.
So maybe there's just some magic sauce there that the Redhawks can tap into. But yeah, on paper, it's definitely a really difficult matchup.
Any health issues for the Redhawks coming into this game?
Nothing that should give fans particular pause. Luke Skaljek has been dealing with a right wrist injury, but he is a lefty shooter, and he's played through it the past several games. Ian Elmer briefly left the UMass game, but that seemed to just be cramps. He came back in pretty quickly and had a nice game. So they should be at nearly 100% strength when they take the court on Wednesday, and hopefully that would continue if they would win all the way into Friday.
Be a great story to get a win tomorrow night, would it not? For those guys, it would be kind of a almost like a I don't want to say redemption. That's too strong, but it would silence the critics that say they don't belong.
Yeah, I would definitely do a lot to confirm that they were one of the best teams in the country this season and belong to hear their name called on Selection Sunday. Obviously earned that with the undefeated regular season, but the predictive metrics never really bought in. So if they can go and beat SMU tomorrow night, that will go a long way to really kind of proving their case.
Going to be a wild second window. Chase, we really appreciate you taking a few for us from the Cincinnati Enquirer. And how about that Bearcat basketball program, man? I mean, sometimes just be careful what you wish for. They had Cronin there, who's never not whined into a microphone put in front of him. I don't know what it is about these bald people, man, like me, but they love to whine. But Cincinnati basketball, what has happened to them?
Well, it's really been a big source of frustration for a lot of fans down here who remember, how things used to be when they were one of the top teams in the country. And, Wes Miller, who's now out at UC, he was fired after their last loss of the season in the Big 12 tournament. He really cared about the program, and it just never seemed to click. At the end of this season, they were playing a lot better, but they just could never string that together for long stretches of time. So we'll have to see where they go next. It's really a program that's looking for answers. I mean, I know some people have suggested Miami's Travis Steele for that job. He has experience in Cincinnati. He was coach at Xavier for several years. But we'll see where they go next. It's a source of great mystery at this point.
Chase, you're the man. If folks want to follow along, how do they do so with you or read your work? And I appreciate your time.
Yeah, well, thanks for having me on. Can read all of my work for the Enquirer at Cincinnati.com. Can follow me on X, formerly Twitter, at CSouter Sports. That's where I'll have links to most of the stuff that I put out for the Enquirer and try to keep you up to date on the latest news around the Red Hawks and other sports around the region. So if you're looking for more Red Hawks content and looking to see how things go tomorrow night against SMU, that's the place to find me.
Thank you, my friend. Great talking to you.
Hey, thanks for having me on.
Guys, who wins that game tomorrow night? Matt Dixon, who you got? Now we previewed it. We gave the living listener some great content there, thanks to Brian Hartman's extra effort. Brian, I'll start with you. You're the one that queued these people up. Brian, let's start with you. Who you got tomorrow, Brian, after hearing our combatants get in the squared circle here?
Got to go with the Mustangs of SMU.
John?
I'll go with Miami of Ohio.
I think Miami of Ohio is going to shoot the ball well.
And SMU probably, based on what we heard, based on their stats, they're more offensive than defensive. If Miami, as well as it shoots, and it's deep, I think deeper, looking at the stats, deeper than SMU. A lot of guards. Really reminds me a little bit of a Kent State team that made the Elite Eight before losing to Indiana in the tournament one year. Hot shooting team. I think it beat, as I recall, it beat Alabama, but it had a lot of guys that could hit threes. When you look at an NCAA tournament game and a matchup, and you look at Tennessee against either SMU or Miami, you say, well, Tennessee will absolutely kill it on the boards.
Yes.
Yeah, it very well might. But these games don't always go according to projections. And these teams that can shoot threes, if they're dialed in the tournament, they can bring some misery to some major programs.
Diskin, what do you think, man? John's right. These games sometimes don't. They just don't go to form. That's why we call it madness.
Yeah, and sometimes the spot's just too big for the team, and they're just not ready to play.
Yep.
I think Miami wins it. I know that they didn't play anybody, but 31-1 is 31-1. Against just competent competition, which they face. I just think they know how to win. They have a really good offense that doesn't rely on one guy. I think they probably pull it out and outscore SMU.
TGMD in the house. We've got an SEC team in action tonight. We've got Texas taking on NC State with Will Wade, who might be on his way. All the rumors are out there. He's on his way back to LSU. You think LSU is crazy enough to do that, John? To put him?
Why do you even ask that?
I'm asking you.
Of course it is. If you look what happened with that scandal, and it was a scandal.
A scandal.
Will Wade at LSU's the one. He got hammered for it.
Yep.
What happened at Kansas with Bill Self?
Nothing.
See, Will Wade, his
total embarrassment.
What Will Wade did, he made the mistake of doing it as kind of not a blue blood program. That's like a security blanket when scandals arise. Boy, but our friend Ron Higgins really follows basketball. He was there in Baton Rouge. He thinks Will Wade is a great coach.
He's an awesome coach.
And he's really good with getting boosters to invest in his program. He did that at McNeese. He's only been at NC State 1 year. That doesn't matter, does it? And LSU will pay any buyout. They throw money around.
You got to clean this mess up or else we'll all end up in jail. The test tubes and the scale. Just get it all out of here. What do you think about Alabama, John, and how much fun that is? That they had Kid Charlemagne playing guard for him down there. Is there gas in the car? Yes, there's gas in the car.
You think about guys can make money now.
Yep.
College basketball, college football. They can make six figures.
This guy's making like $700,000, the total dum-dum.
It's not what was Tennessee's wide receiver, Niquise Richardson?
Niquise Richardson.
Niquise Richardson. See, he got in trouble. But back then you would say, well, these guys don't have any money. They're trying to get by. It's hard. Well, this guy has plenty of money, yet he does something incredibly stupid. You can't buy intellect. You can't buy character.
Yeah. You can't buy character. That's a great way of putting it, man.
How about Alabama, though? Alabama basketball. I mean, it has...
They love it. Brian, do they love it or do they love it, man?
What is failure to affix a tax stamp?
God!
What is that? I've never heard that.
Walk me under wing here.
Is
weed legal?
Out there.
Is weed legal in that state, John? Is that what it is? It's got to be, right? If they didn't have a tax.
That's what I assume that means.
Yeah.
That's weed, and it's not properly labeled as that would make it legal. And I mean, obviously, the amount he had's not legal in any form, but that's what I assume that is. Has something to do with whether you bought it like legally or not.
The hoo-hoo and the woo-woo and the woo-woo and the hoo-hoo. And James Daniels right. Both these coaches tonight were two that got hit the hardest by the NCAA. One lost his gig at Arizona. One lost his gig at LSU. And by the way, I see where Donnie Tyndall's involved at Louisiana Monroe. John, I don't know if you have any contacts down there, but they're talking to him. If they're smart, they hire him. You imagine a hot and hungry Donnie Tyndall with the ability with NIL to go buy some players. That cat knows how to put. I would not bet against him in a spot like that.
Perhaps not. I just wonder, again, as so much of this all comes down to NIL support. Louisiana Monroe, how much can he come up with? And I think that, to me, makes this NCAA tournament different than what it used to be, because there's greater disparity in my mind between the majors and the mid-majors.
Yeah, it's awful.
I think it's going to decrease the upsets in this tournament.
Yeah.
It's pros versus amateurs in some cases now.
When Griff jumps in here, we got a lot to talk about. Today over at tclub.team, I'm going to brag on myself and C. C helped me put this together because I didn't do that deep dive into those numbers with Jalen Carey. But we looked at, Matt, just how bad this Jalen Carey guy is. Boy, he's a bad player, Matt, isn't he? Those numbers are incredible. I asked Bino yesterday, I said, how many missed layups, do you think the Vols averaged? Or I'm sorry. I've never seen a team that misses more layups than this Tennessee team around the rim. It's bizarre. And so we went to look at it, and on dunks this year, Tennessee was 133 of 149. On layups, they were 534 of 877, meaning Tennessee ended up missing 359 layups plus dunks on the year. So they're 65% around the rim on the year.
I wonder, when you talk about a layup, what constitutes a layup. A guy drives to the basket, but he's guarded. When I think of a layup, it's unguarded path to the basket, and you've got the hoop right there in front of you.
I don't have those numbers in front of me, but on unguarded layups, we miss we play some women's basketball at times. No offense to us.
Well, missed layups are epidemic in that sport.
Oh my God! In that sport, half of those kids ought to wear helmets because the ball comes back off the bottom of the iron, going to give you a whiplash. Anyway,
concussion protocol. Here we come.
Exactly. Versus top 100 opponents, Matt Diskin. I want how you plead to this. The Vols were 83 of 96 on dunks, 367 of 629 at the rim. Tennessee 450 for 725. They missed 275 layups, Matt, in 25 games. And I told Bino, Jeff, that they averaged 7 a game, and he said there's no way. I'm sorry, Bino, I was wrong. They averaged more than 7 a game. Go ahead.
Well, a lot of times teams that you see these huge rebounding stats, which Tennessee produces, no doubt about it. It's a great rebounding team.
Yeah.
But a lot of times it's padded, it's inflated because they rebound their own misses. Oop, missed
Moses
again.
Malone. Bino calls them me-bounds.
Well, Angel Reese of the WNBA is famous for that. Yeah, she gets all those rebounds.
She does it with long fingernails, too, and really obnoxious hair. Matt, your thoughts on this epidemic with our team of the missed layups when you compare them to a squad like Florida, who we looked at?
No, it's been an issue all year, just that inability to finish around the rim. I mean, most of them are contested in some fashion. But, yeah, just a lot of those close twos that this team just has really, really struggled to make. And they get a lot of them, too, which is frustrating. And then you combine that with the poor free throw shooting, and this team's just left a ton of points just out there.
I didn't even think about the foul shooting.
Well, see,
think about that.
You think of when you say free throws, and layups are kind of like free baskets a lot of times. So those are bad tendencies going into an NCAA tournament.
I would say, one of your buddies, Chris Christopherson, wrote "Freedom isn't always free." Apparently, free throws aren't always free.
They certainly
with us.
are.
Jalen Carey, we just decided, me and C last night, let's unpack him because there's got to be a reason why he plays so much. Now, I'm not here to campaign against the guy.
His loss did not destroy the Vanderbilt program, did it?
He's awful. Okay? I mean, I'm just going to say, listen to this. On dunks, Jalen Carey. Matt, how many dunks on the year? You saw it, right? Versus top 100 teams. He had 4 dunks on the year. And he was he had 4 dunk attempts. He was 3 for 4 on dunk attempts.
Well, he's not a leaper.
He's Italian. On layups, he was 67 for 132. You add the totals together, Carey missed 66 shots out of 136 at the rim. Meaning, he made 70 and he missed 66 shots, John. How in the hell is that possible? And Matt, why do they keep playing him? Why is the freshman not playing now, the brown kid? Would somebody please explain that to me, Matt? I want you, Matt, to explain that to me. He's your guy. Carey's your guy, Matt. Explain it to me.
Oh, yeah. Obviously, he's my guy. Yeah. I mean, he's playing so much because Cade Phillips got hurt. Yes. Otherwise, Carey would barely see the floor in most games, except for the few games where you're, ironically, like against the Miami, Ohio, a game he can function in where the other team doesn't have a lot of size and length inside.
He'll function in the Ohio game. He'll kind of function in the SMU game.
He could probably function in SMU as well, yes.
What about moving on, looking ahead? No. What about Virginia?
He'll get a shot blocked at least 8 times.
No, he'll be awful in that game.
8 times.
You need Estrella to play well that day.
They'll swallow him like I did my vitamin.
So you're not
C
giving
pill.
Tennessee a big chance against Virginia if that meeting comes to pass?
I'm talking to Matt now. Matt?
You need Gillespie and Ament to carry you, and both to have good days. If either one of them has an off day, I think you're probably getting beat.
Matt, that saying Matt has during Garza Law, fifth quarter fan reaction / basketball overtime. Those two guys has better combined for around 50 points in that game. If you want to be moving on from town to town, bad company. How did Carey fare? Estrella versus top 100 teams at the rim. 16 of 18 on dunks. 51 for 85 on layups. 67 out of 103. About 68%. That's not bad, John. You can live with that.
Yeah, again, though, when all these misses by Carey, I mean, how many times is this a contested shot where he's fighting to get the ball off? That's
John,
a big difference in that and a layup.
He's awful. Akpara versus top 100 teams at the rim. 44 out of 48 at dunks because he can ram it home, boy. And on layups, 61 of 88 on layups, 105 out of 133. He's at 79% on the year, Akpar is. If you're an opponent, you know what you want? You want the ball in Jalen Carey's hands. That's what I'm saying. Matt, you think opponents know these numbers and let him catch the ball down there, knowing this?
Yes, that's what Alabama did it, especially in the game here. They let him have the ball either on the block or even kind of at the elbow or whatever, and just kind of baited him into driving and trying to score. Because, I think that if you're a team that has scouted Tennessee well, you want Jalen Carey in traffic because he just has such a tough time finishing around the rim.
I think the announcers
and even if he gets position on you, you just hack the hell out of him and put him on the line, and there's a decent chance. I mean, you're lucky if you make 1 out of 2.
The guy shoots like 48% from the line. Can't make a layup. Can't dunk a ball. Is not a very good defensive player. I mean, I'm sorry. I'm not trying to campaign against the guy. What is he, Brian? How does he get so much time on this team? And why won't they play the freshman, Brian? Explain that to me.
He must have pictures of somebody.
It's a good explanation.
Yeah, I'll say this again. Anyone who's
please
scheduled
don't, Brian,
to be executed...
Brian, please don't say that again. Thank you. Go ahead, John. Brian has this firing squad line he likes to say now. It's like this. There's a guy in here who calls himself Catfish Carp, and he comes after me, and it gets very old. But go ahead.
I used a firing squad line in a high school basketball game in South Texas.
How'd that go?
Nobody cared. Remember Gary Gilmore?
Of course.
Down
in Texas. He got Old Sparky. That's what they called it.
I was thinking he got a firing squad.
I think that's right.
Yeah, because I think my line was
Utah's the only state that still has that.
I said he would still be alive,
right, John. I think that's right, Matt.
Yeah, I said he would still be alive if they had been shooting.
That's Brian Hartman says that about Carey. If I ever get called before the. Well, Brian said it like 9 times. I mean,
that's okay. I don't have a problem with that.
I'm not a guy. Let me tell you something, Brian. I'm not.
How many times has Jalen Carey missed a free throw? It's like 2 free throws.
I'm not a guy. I'm not a guy that'll beat a line into the ground. It ain't my style. But let's come back on the other side. On the other side,
good line, Brian.
I do want to shout out, by the way, Carey from the foul line versus top 100 teams, 41 of 86. So he is productive there. We'll come back. Mark Grip.
It doesn't matter if it's top 100 teams.
Huh?
It's a free throw regardless of the opponent.
Yeah, what difference does it make?
Remember, free throws aren't always free and nothing's left. What was the line?
Yeah, some teams have really good free
Freedom's
throw
just
defense.
another word for nothing left to lose.
Putting Jalen Carey out there is just another word for nothing left to lose. As we continue with more after this.
It's the hottest postgame show on the planet.
You're listening to FM 105.7 and AM 1340, WKGN Knoxville, and W289CU Knoxville, Fan Run Radio.
Postgame show on the planet. Garza Law, 5th quarter fan reaction. Fan reaction. As soon as the final gun sounds, we're live.
Hi, I'm Jim Simpson, owner of Simpson Meats. When's the last time you grilled a really good burger or steak? One your friends still talk about. Our goal at Simpson Meats is to make that happen every time you have a cookout. All of our cuts of meats, steaks, burgers, briskets, and pork are always fresh, flavorful, and sustainably sourced. We are family owned, so we know the importance of knowing how and where your food is raised. We have been putting quality first since 1888. Visit our butcher shop off Lovell Road or online at simpsonmeats.com.
Okay, so we really need uniforms and equipment for this season. Can I trust you with that? Cool, I'll just order them online. What? Yeah, I'm gonna hop online and I'm gonna get them ordered. Hold up, that's not a good idea. We shouldn't just spend money on some random online retailer, okay? I mean, it seems pretty convenient. Trust me, it's a terrible idea. Let me simplify this for you. SM Athletics. Okay, how do you pronounce it? SM Athletics? They're the go-to for uniforms and equipment, whether it's for universities, high schools, youth leagues, you name it. So why wouldn't you rather go with professionals who can guide us through the process, design the perfect uniforms, and deliver the best equipment? Yeah, I guess that makes sense. What's the name again? SM Athletics. Right. It's definitely smarter to go with a company that emphasizes customer service, fair pricing, and, of course, excellent products. Exactly. So, yeah, I guess it's settled then. For uniforms and equipment for all sports, it's SM Athletics.
When a dangerous, overgrown, or storm-damaged tree is threatening your home, your car, or your family, don't risk it. Call ECR Total Landscapes, your local tree-cutting experts. From precision tree removal and trimming to emergency storm cleanup, ECR Total Landscapes has the equipment and the experience to get the job done safely and efficiently. Call today to set up your free estimate, 865-384-2012, or just go online to ecrtotallandscapes.com.
Josh Collins at Collins Insurance Agency. At Collins Insurance, we strive to ensure our customers receive better coverage along with bigger savings. Our community is important to us. We want to provide exceptional service to our customers. Anybody can provide great rates, great coverage, but can you also get great service? And hey, don't just take my word for it.
What's up, everybody? Zakai Ziegler here. My family turns to Collins Insurance Agency for the best service, coverage, and price.
So don't just go online and get some random insurance. Experience the Collins Insurance difference.
Like he said, experience the Collins Insurance difference. CollinsInsuranceTN.com. CollinsInsuranceTN.com. And hey, their Mama Zizi approved. CollinsInsuranceTN.com. Thank you to Josh Collins and Zizi.
One more thing, Tony. Go Vols.
Yeehaw! I've been hooting and hollering ever since I started betting with the VIP Play app. VIP Play has more than 200 leagues, every bet type you can imagine, live betting and live hosts, all with 24/7 support from real live people when you need them. Start betting better with the VIP Play app today. Don't be a better, be a better with VIP Play today.
VIP Play coming soon. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-889-9789. Must be 21 plus and located in Tennessee to bet.
Achillio here, and you know my friends at Carnes Motor Company started with a dream over a quarter century ago. I met Rob and Brian back when I still had hair, and they were working at a huge dealership in West Knoxville. But they told me back then they wanted to sell cars on their terms, and I wanted to do radio on my terms. Their terms, just like my terms, are ultimately your terms. In both cases, you're the winner. A Car Guru's National Award winner with a 5-star rating on all sites, just like our Vols. Everything about buying a car from Carnes Motor Company is no hassle. They specialize in high-quality pre-owned vehicles between the $5,000 to $25,000 range. And if you need to sell a car, they'll either buy your car or they'll help you sell it. Carnes Motor Company also has a top-notch service department. Therefore, every vehicle is rigorously inspected and serviced prior to delivery. So you're guaranteed to get a quality pre-owned vehicle every time. If you need a place for service, they've got you covered. Come be a part of the Carnes Motor Company family and tell them you heard about it from me. Online at carnesmotor.com, Oak Ridge Highway, 1 mile past the Carnes Light. Carnes Motor Company.
From the sunrise over the Smokies to the Saturday cheers at Neyland Stadium, Knoxville isn't just where we live, it's home. But let's be honest. Finding your perfect spot in a hot market can feel like a full-time job. Whether you're looking for a Craftsman in 4th and Gill, a family home in Farragut, or a view in South Knox, the market moves fast. You need more than a listing. You need an edge. And that's where I come in, Jennifer Morris with Keller Williams Realty. And I specialize in helping Knoxville buyers win. I don't just find houses, I find the right fit for your budget and your lifestyle. Ready to unlock your front door? Visit nextmovesmokymountains.com or call me at 865-694-5904. That's nextmovesmokymountains.com, and as always, go Vols!
Tony B back with you. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, put your hands together, meet and greet. Clap your hands, everybody, for Marky Griffin. Marky Griffin. I said, clap your hands, everybody, for my man Mark Griffin.
That's enough.
My man Mark Griffin. Griffin. Griffin.
I'm surprised Mark's still here after that intro.
Griffin. Griffin.
You could ask him 2 questions in that time.
Griff, are you fired up, focused, and prepared right now?
I don't know how prepared I am, but I'm fired up.
Are you focused?
Oh, no doubt. With you guys, you have to be, because we're going to get ripped either way. Bring it on, baby.
Griff, are you pumped? Are you pumped right now for March Madness? And we're going to see tomorrow night what all we have in store for us. This is going to be a lot of fun. First thing I want to do, though, is I want to shout out my man Mark Griffin. He doesn't know I'm doing this, but Mark Griffin has been selected as the recipient. I had a little birdie tell me this. I want to start this off right now because, Griff, I want to honor you today on the air because I love you, and you're a great man. You are a great man, and I know about what just happened, and I'm gonna share it with the living listener because I think it's something worth celebrating in a world sometimes that can really feed us some darkness. Mark Griffin, ladies and gentlemen, is the 2026 recipient of the Pat Summit Ignite Greatness Award as presented by the Greater Knoxville Sports Hall of Fame. This award goes to someone who exemplifies courage and leadership of the late, great Pat Summit, who's done work in their respective community to help youth or young adults, who's donated time or money supporting young people. He's going to be recognized at the annual banquet, which takes place on Thursday, June 25 from 7:30 to 9 at the Knoxville Convention Center.
In June, that's usually in a... You sure of that?
Yeah, I'm sure of that. It's the information I got. Why? When's it usually happen?
Well, it's usually later in the year.
Yeah, it's in June.
Okay.
Yeah, when we went for you, it was in August, wasn't it?
Yeah. Well, I shouldn't have said that. That takes away from the glowing introduction from Mark, and that's a great compliment.
Yeah, Mark.
That's a real honor, Mark.
Congratulations, buddy.
Well, thank you guys, and I'm real low key. I call myself behind the scene guy. I don't stand out there on the front row, sticking my chest out. But for a local group of Knoxvillians that came together and bestowed this honor, just really appreciative and multiple reasons. I mean, even to be named after anything under Pat Summit, period. The volunteering work, yeah, that's fine. I just think that's what everyone should do because you gain so much by volunteering. And people say, I don't have time. Well, you do have time. Make time. Make time, you'll realize a dime. I mean, you always will benefit when you volunteer for others. And it doesn't have to be financial. It can be just spend time. But to be named for Pat, I mean, I got to know Pat, got some great stories on her. The most intense person. She'll, real quick when people would say, what'd you learn from Pat? I said, well, you didn't have to ask her for guidance. She would tell you what to do. You didn't have to go to her and say, hey, have you got any suggestions for me career-wise? She would just stop you in the hallway and say, hey, you need to do this. You better do this. I mean, it was just like, well, okay. She was that directive and it's just an honor to be named for her. And I don't know how I can even stand up there on her behalf, but I'm just very thankful.
Congratulations, Griff. We're really, really proud of you. And let me just say to the living listener.
Have other members of your team Tony, had any honors this year? It might be a good time to mention some of them if they have.
I've known Mark for 30-plus years, and he's always poured himself into other people. I've seen Mark when the old Copper Cellar down on Cumberland was open, and I would get down there and do remotes. And Mark would be in there with said student athlete. He would teach him, he would walk him through how to interview. He would teach him how to fix resumes. He's done that for kids behind the scenes, mentoring people. And then with young people with his EAB program, pouring himself into those people. And never asked for $1 in return. Mark is seriously and truly one of the best among us. He really is. Now let's get on the ripping Jalen Carey again.
Let's start ripping people. Let's do that.
Yeah, too much of this good thing.
Well, I did think it's an appropriate time. If any of your other team members
you
here,
said you didn't want to take away from this, and now you're doing it again. You have
no.
You have this compunction.
Tony,
stop.
No, Tony, you have a tendency to go overboard.
The percentage to count. Hey, Griff, what do you make of, before we do anything else, this enterprising young man at Alabama? And you know darn right well, Griff, if they could have hidden that, they would have. But the guy was a living, breathing kid, Charlemagne. He's like, clean this mess up or else we'll all end up in jail. The test tube's in the scale. Get it all out of here. I mean, what in the world, Griff? These guys are making real money now. How do you get caught up in that?
It's funny. You talk about leading the program, and do I feel for NATO?
Yeah.
I mean, how does he weather the storm like he does? I mean, it's hard enough to simply coach these days. I don't know how coaches do it, but I saw a funny tweet said he had more felonies than Final Fours on his team this year or over his last several years. So I thought that was kind of interesting. I hate it for the kid. Holloway, he's an excellent player, but you've just got to do the right thing when you're off the court. Do people make mistakes? Yes. Have any of us not made any mistakes? Of course we have. Can he learn from this? He better, because, man, it's going to cost him a lot of money professionally and even personally. And I hate it, but and the timing of it, for Alabama fans, the worst. And you're right. Could they cover it up? Now, what I know you'll get a kick out of this, Tony. If this was the football team and Saban was coaching, would this have ever come out? Let's talk about it another time.
He never would have gotten arrested, right? John, he never would have gotten arrested, right? If that was Alabama football? No. They call Saban. Well, when's the last time anybody? Yeah, when's the last time anybody heard of an Alabama football player in a drug charge? I'm waiting.
I tell you what, I haven't heard of
any charge.
I haven't heard of many players with a drug charge in today's NIL era.
Totally agree.
It's that's an exception.
You know what I think it is with that kid, though? I give him credit, and then we'll get into the hoops. He's an enterprising young man. They say it takes money to make money. He took a couple hundred thousand of his dollars, Mark, and was into the endo trade. He was like Nate Newton when he got caught with 400,000 pounds outside of Fort Worth at one time.
Oh wow!
Yeah, I mean Holloway
trailer.
They say on the court he can deal.
Yep. Big ZD has a good line here. He said, "I made a lot of mistakes in my life, but drug dealing ain't one of them." Interesting, Big ZD. Yeah, I can honestly say that.
Does it make you change your brackets? I think it makes you really look at it. Let's go to that. I mean, Wright Still, the kid that killed Tennessee, is really going to have to step up now for Alabama, and I think he will. Will they miss Holloway? Yes. But with Wright Still, the way he played against Tennessee and Knoxville, I think they'll still be very strong, very strong.
Griff, I love you and I appreciate you. Matt, what do you think it does to Alabama? Before we get into our thing, what do you think this deal does to Alabama?
I mean, like Griff said, it puts a little bit more on Wright Still. I mean, they're still going to ride Phylon, especially when it matters, and they need the buckets. But they have enough guys that I think they can kind of plug and play those kind of wings. But it's certainly a little bit of a loss, but I don't think it's like going to kill their season.
Yeah.
It's a distraction at the wrong time. That's what it is more than anything else.
That's exactly right, Bri.
Do you think they can get the G Leaguer back for the tournament?
great
or,
line.
Or is that ship sailed?
Let's work the courts. He's. I mean, what is
That's funny.
Alabama? I like Griff when they had the murder down there, and the coach comes before the microphone and says, "Well, he's just in the wrong place, the wrong time."
Yeah.
I mean, Nate, it's like, hang on, Nate. Let me make sure I got this right now. His friend called him and said, "Bring me the jammy." Bring me the jammy here so I can off somebody, and he was in the wrong place at the wrong time. Okay, yeah, I want to make sure we're all on the same page. What a joke, man!
Hanging out with the bad crowd.
All right, let's do this. Let's do this, ladies and gentlemen, as we're fired up, focused, and prepared with you today on the one, the only. It is your Tony Basilio show, and Mark Griffin's in the house. Griff, give me your temperature. Let's take the temperature of this basketball team through your eyes, as now we are ready for the big tournament. Where is this team, in your humble opinion, right now?
Wow. You know, it's interesting. I've really reflected, and probably like all of you guys and most of your listeners do a bracket.
Yep.
And I'm like, okay, you know, when you look where they are now, you lose, you're done. So we can't have these conversations, you know, and the coaches with the players to go, hey, learn from your loss. Let's move on. Let's grow. You lose now, you're done. You're going on probably not spring break. We're going somewhere, but they're not advancing.
Yep.
And that puts a lot more pressure. Tony, I don't know how well this team can do, because it's just really hard to lock down, because there's so many what ifs, and I hate to play the what if game. I hate the what if game. You know, what if we get guard play? What if we get this? So, you know, what if Ament doesn't get knocked around, which he's going to? You know, what if Gillespie has an off night? Can they win? I mean, there's a lot of factors for this team that could go wrong, but at the same time, we've seen glimpses and some consistency during the season to say, why not Tennessee? Why can they look at the matchups? I actually think they've got good matchups.
Totally agree with that.
As far as playing Miami of Ohio or SMU, to me that's more of a hype thing. You know, that this is a NCAA. The television people are really going to hype Miami of Ohio. I think SMU beats them tonight or whenever they're playing. Is it tonight or tomorrow? Whenever it is.
Tomorrow.
Okay, sorry, I haven't paid attention today. And I would love for them to play SMU. No disrespect to Travis Steele in Miami, but I want to see SMU.
Yep.
And one reason is I want to see how they play against a three-guard tandem. We can't discount SMU, and I'm not even going to talk about Pearl today, but SMU's got great guard play. I mean, and of course they have a local kid, BJ Edwards, and kudos to him and his improvement, because when he was at UT, I never thought he would play. I really didn't. And he's really developed, grown, got in with the program that works well for him. And they've got senior leadership. Their three guards are all seniors.
Yeah.
So they've got some leadership. They got an Alabama transfer, Sam Walters. I don't think he plays a ton, but you know, for people that follow the SEC will remember him. There'll be some familiarity if they do play SMU, and see how they contain their three-point shooting and their leadership. And if they can, I would love to see them play Virginia. Now, yeah, Virginia's good, but they're beatable. I mean, the DeRitter kid just came out of nowhere. And this, of course, down the road, but if this does work out, I've been following him since mid-season because of, Coach Odom. And then they've got the UT kid the kid that was looking to go to UT. What's his chance? Is it Mallory? Tony?
Mallory. Tennessee would have had him, that Mallory kid. Tennessee had him.
Yeah.
They thought they had him. And then Odom, essentially what happened was Odom got the job. Virginia got serious with the NIL, and they decided to claw that kid back and keep him home. The Vols felt like it was a real tease last spring, because they felt like at one point they had him. They felt like they had Rodney Rice. Rice went to USC. USC bought him. Of course, that didn't work out because he got injured. The Mallory kid was a grand slam for Virginia. Total season changer.
as a freshman. It would have been an incredible development. If he would have come here, you would have had him at point guard. You would have had Gillespie at 2 guard. Tennessee with Mallory is probably a 2 or a 3 seed with that front line we have. That's what it would have been.
Yeah, and it's not that he's a huge scorer. I think he averages like 9 points a game, but he's such a leader on the floor.
Yes.
Well-coached team.
Yes.
I think it'll just be. I mean, I hate to look ahead, but I will if they can get to the Virginia game, and I think they will. I think it's a good matchup because we have bigs. DeRitter's not played someone like Akpar, I don't think. I really do think Akpar can alter him when he gets the ball inside because DeRitter, I want to say, is probably 6'9", 6'10". I think he's from Belgium, freshman. Really, really good talent, future pro prospect. But it's hard to say, hard to gauge. I mean, you get past Virginia, can you beat someone like an Iowa State? Now, those teams are like mirrored programs to me. But then again, they don't play well the first night. They could get beat. I just don't know. But that's the great thing, or for me, the anticipation to see how are they going to come out focused? What is going to be their go-to? Are they going to really work the ball more to aim it one-on-one? Or what matchup? I'll look for matchup concerns offensively and defensively to see, like who can they take advantage of on SMU's team, if it's them or if it's Miami of Ohio. What do we hide behind as far as our, lack of production, or if we get into foul trouble, what moves does Coach Barnes make to bring in guys? You were talking about Jalen Carrier off the air, Carey. How does he fit in? I mean, he plays well against guys his height and lower, I felt, but your metrics show different on your blog.
It's unbelievable, those numbers, Griff.
How does he play? And why doesn't Brown play more? I don't know. This will be something we all will be tuned in anticipating.
Mark, we're talking about the possible opponents for Tennessee, Miami of Ohio, SMU, similar teams in a way, and they get a lot of points from their backcourt. Got some good shooters. Going back to a very opener against Arkansas, SEC opener for Tennessee, when Darius Acuff just dominated the game. And admittedly, he's one of the college basketball superstars right now. Nonetheless, that kind of was a preview of what was to come. So many guards have had big games against Tennessee. Why do you think that is?
It's perplexing, John, and that is a major concern. You could think of the bushy-haired kid from Missouri, career game against Tennessee. Boogie Flan was shooting 19% or something before they played Tennessee.
Yeah,
and he just rolled over on UT. Yep. You're exactly right. Guards have really fared well against Tennessee, and a lot of that, I think, was pre-Amari Evans time, and I'm hoping, and we talked about this off air, that they'll utilize him more to be a defensive stopper because he is a better defensive player than the other guard that UT's been relying on for the whole season, other than Gillespie.
Talking about
Boswell, yeah. Yes, much better. So I think that if you can utilize both, I think it'll. I mean, Boswell's going to get the first go because we know Evans is coming off the court. It would be nice to see, in my mind, more minutes from Evans. I think he was averaging around 14 a game. I'd love to see him play 22 at least. But be that defensive stopper, and he's always around the ball. That's one of the things that has impressed me more about Evans than anything is. It seems like when they're what's called 50-50 balls, loose balls out there, he's always around them. And I know that's measured by the coaching staff. And I think that's going to play a huge factor because you're going to need your depth with your wings in this tournament.
Well, you talk about Bogey Flan, which is what we call him on here. Of course, they're going to see a booby, Matt, with SMU. When SMU, and I don't know whether BJ, again, I'm going off the play-by-play voice who joined us an hour ago. And I'm telling you, inside Tennessee's camp, they don't think that kid's playing. But maybe he. I hope for his sake he plays. I'm for it, not against it. I'm for him playing and playing well, and the Vols moving on. It'd be a great story if he could play against his alma mater. They win that game tomorrow night. He gets a shot at his alma mater. It's what college basketball is all about.
You mean his former team, not alma mater.
I'm sorry. Yeah, that's the whatever. But he's from here, his hometown team. And he's a good kid. And like Griff said, he's really developed into a really nice player. And truth is, Tennessee didn't want to lose him. But he went on, and he played down there, I guess, with the ice handler for, I guess, a season. And then Andy Enfeld, or 2 seasons. And then Andy Enfeld comes in, and he didn't go with the ice handler to Rice. He stayed at SMU. But, Griff, when I asked you, where is this team, you paused. And the reason you paused is because you're a smart guy. The thing I can't get past with this club is, John, if they're healthy and everything's going well, it's one thing. But down the stretch of this season, they look like a tired, kind of really beat up, kind of disheveled organization here, the way they finished the year. They just didn't look NCAA tournament runnish. And that's why Griff paused. Because really, truly, if we're going to be honest about it, they could go home Friday if they play that SMU team, and none of us listening would be really terribly surprised if that happened. There's something missing with this whether it's on the defensive end, whether it's getting the loose balls, the things that the Barnes teams have always done. There's something missing right now with this team.
Well, Rick Barnes is talked over and over about inconsistency, and I think that's what you're pinpointing.
Yeah.
You look at Tennessee. Players just have really bad games. Different players have really bad games. Jacoby Gillespie, I think of him as a marksman from three-point range, and he goes 5 of 22 from the field in that last regular season game against Vanderbilt, a loss to Vanderbilt. Nate Ament, I know he's had the injury, and but he comes back from the injury and scores 27 on Auburn, and struggles shooting against Vanderbilt. I know everybody has some degree of inconsistency, but it seems magnified with this team, and that's a concern going into the tournament because you're one bad game from going home, and it could come against an opponent that you're better than. So,
and the problem on top of that, to compound that, John, when you look at this roster, you don't have a lot of options. When you're talking about inconsistency, let's say inconsistency, if Ament's not playing well and Gillespie's not playing well, who do you turn to for consistency that's shown it game after game? We haven't seen that game after game.
You're right.
Which is like this.
We've seen a burst of Estrella, was 1.8 out of 10. He had double figures, but there's some games, he didn't show up. And you could say, well, he was hurt. Then don't play. If you're hurt, don't play. I don't buy that excuse.
Well, and here's the other thing.
You just don't get that consistency. And with other teams, like I'll pick on Vanderbilt, with their guards, their 3 guards, Nickel, Miles, and Tanner. You have one of those guys have an inconsistent night, a bad shooting night. As long as 2 pick it up, they're winning. But if they have 2 guys not play well, that third better step up to even have a shot. We don't have that third guy that you can say put the ball in his hands and get us a game-winning shot like a Vanderbilt team has in their guard play.
Here's a great case in point. We opened up talking about Alabama. Matt jumps in and says Wrightsall's going to jump right in there. You look at the line in their game, and it's moved like very little bit. You know why? Because the books know that there's a credible replacement for him behind at Alabama. They have like Griff says, if we lose one of our big guns, do you have a credible replacement on hand? Plus just the way that Griff, the whole body language thing, right? We just man, we just didn't look right Friday. I'll say this for Amen. People really, I don't understand what people want out of him because he's all beat up. He didn't have it on Friday, yet he got to the foul line and tried to will us into keeping us in that game. And the truth is that he played so damn hard, he just couldn't get off the floor. But you can't fault his level, at least I can't, fault his level of effort in the game. But Griff, I watched our body language Friday. We just don't, and I think that's why you paused. I think you kind of saw what I saw on Friday.
Yeah. There's a concern, and the biggest concern I have that's not talked about enough, and you can go to Zakai, and we can play the what-if game, Zakai Ziegler, that vocal leader.
That's right.
Now, he was a leader. Now, Gillespie's the leader. He's quarterback of the team, but he's not vocal. I don't fault Gillespie for that. He is who he is.
Right.
Amen. Everyone is who they are. But you look at some of these teams starting tonight out on the court when there's a crucial turnover or if there's a really nice assist or a good defensive play or gathering at the free throw line. Look for that individual that's pulling at their jersey or in each other's ear.
Yep.
That's a guy you want to ride.
Yep.
Now, they don't have to be the best player, but they're going to be respected when they're vocal like that and directing the team and being the so-called coach on the floor. I don't see that with this team, unfortunately.
Wonderful point.
You have to have that to be successful. Do you have to have emotion? No. It's direction. It's focus. It's, hey, I'm your coach on the floor. Let's do this. Pick it up. And you're not having to always look over to the sideline.
And Matt,
we don't have that, guys. We don't have that.
No. Matt, how do you respond to that when Griff enters that element, which is something we really haven't talked about?
Yeah, you just don't have the established guy to be that. I've seen Boswell be that at times, but again, at some point, if you don't produce on the floor, you can't just take over and be the team's leader and all that stuff. If you don't, at least make some plays on the floor to kind of take over and will a team to wins. This team just doesn't have that. Amick really can't be that. As a freshman. Gillespie, I just think there's just been so much on his plate that, becoming a team leader just hasn't been there. I do think ultimately you just don't have, this team's just a flawed team.
That's right.
You lost so much from last year, not just talent wise, not just, the scoring, but that leadership that Ziegler had, that Meshack had. You just lost all that, and you can't get that back in one offseason, even in this portal era, because those were just 4-year guys that were just program guys that really bought into everything that a Barnes team needs, and that's just missing this year.
There were 3 chances, John, to make this team totally different, and they would have jumped a couple seed lines. This is no hyperbole here. This is true. The guy from Oklahoma that went off against them from Vanderbilt the other day wanted some money. Tennessee, he called Tennessee. He's interested. His agent called.
Miles.
And Tennessee says to Miles, we're out of money. That's one. If they had a do-over, they would have found the money for him. There's no doubt about it. Hindsight's always 20/20. The second one is the kid from Virginia. This is ironic. The McNeely guy, we documented here, they didn't have his major. They had him committed. I mean, they walk him in. They had him committed. He visited. This all happened. And then okay, son, you're going to transfer. What are you going to major in? Oh, you don't. And then he goes to Louisville, where he has a dismal season. He basically got lost at Louisville. The third one is the point guard that Mark's talking about, because if you would have gotten the freshman point guard that's at Virginia now, and it's weird that we're going to play Virginia, because 2 of those 3 players, Virginia was the fulcrum in 2 of those 3. And it comes to me here that Tennessee struck out on all 3 of those guys, which really set them on this path, because then you've got to go get another 2 guards. So you take a run at the Evans guy who didn't work. Not Evans. What's the kid's name? Abram. That wasn't going to happen. He wasn't he's just not a serious guy. Barnes just doesn't think he's a serious player, so he wasn't going to play. the Israeli kid, you're just taking a chance at that point and maybe a hit on him. But they never were able to solve that two-guard, and now teams have figured out that when Bishop Boswell's on the floor, I will destroy him on defense. And that is a problem for this basketball team. Let me tell you, Vanderbilt destroyed him the other day. They exploited him and destroyed him the other day. Now you have a shooting guard that can't shoot and can't defend, but other than that, I'm sure it's great.
That's
a problem. That's a problem.
That gets back to Amari Evans. 3 really odd games when we talk about inconsistency with Tennessee.
Yeah.
Amari Evans in back-to-back games against South Carolina State.
Yeah.
No big deal. But Arkansas, he's 12 of 13 from the field. He was 7 for 7 from the field, I think, against Arkansas.
Yeah.
And then in the game against Vanderbilt, the home game, the last regular season game, he scores 24 points and has 3 steals.
But he hurt his ankle. See, that's the problem with this team. Every time somebody gets hot, they've gotten beat up or banged up this year. Ament's coming into his own. All of a sudden, before the Vanderbilt game, he has that ankle injury, and he goes down there, and he fights through it and makes a winning shot, but it's like one of the only shots he made all day. Then we don't see him for 2 weeks. He was getting ready to explode. It's almost, Griff, like this year. It's just a year of fits and starts, and somehow they've gotten to 22 wins, which I think about it now, that's a damn great accomplishment for this team to get to 22 wins for the roster they have, Griff.
Yeah, I see your side, Tony, but I also see that every team's going to have injuries. I mean, you could probably go through, just look at the SEC alone of players that are, that have had their season either delayed or ended or abrupted somehow. It's just going to happen. But you brought up even a bigger point on the guys they did bring in, and no disrespect to these guys at all. I'm sure they're all great people, but as far as filling roles that help uplift the program from last season's success, or it just didn't turn out. It hasn't turned out. Now, can Abram, or what I call Iceberg, have a big game this week? Sure, they can. But I would be a little reluctant to put them in early because, like even John said, Evans is your first guy. Now, is he hurt? I don't know. If he's hurt, once again, if you can't play, don't play. But if you can play, give it a go. Monitor your minutes. You're spot on about Boswell. I mean, I love the effort, but as a defensive liability, he has been and hasn't fouled yet this whole season. And a bigger concern for me that shows lack of focus for this team, and we haven't discussed it, and Brian is probably the best one to look this up. I would like to know how many 3-point shots have we fouled this season compared to Barnes' tenure. It has to be off the chart, the worst ever in Barnes' time here. And that is what I consider the worst play in basketball. It is the worst play because it's a 4-point opportunity. And you're talking about body language, Tony. You watch a team from the bench when someone fouls a 3-pointer, it just deflates. And I deflate every time I see it because it's the worst play in basketball. But yet, not only do it once, we may do it 3 times a game. It's the worst. I hate it.
Marky Mark and the Lunchy Bunch, he's coming in hot today. We'll focus on some of these SEC teams, who we see going the furthest. Is Vandy and Florida, will those two teams play in the Sweet 16? I think that could happen. I think this Vanderbilt team's pretty hot right now, and they're fairly healthy, and they got a pretty decent draw, and watch them go out in their first round as I put the kiss of death on them. But we continue on the other side. Mark Griffin's here. John Adams is here, presented by Jennifer Morris, Next Move, SmokyMountains.com. Matt Dixon's in the house. Brian Hartman's here. My name's Tony Basilio. If you want to get in, we'll open the phones for you like we did last week. Griff likes taking some calls, and we'll do that with Griff, who, congratulations once again. Those of you just joining, Griff, a great honor by the Knoxville Sports Hall of Fame Griff, I'm so proud of you, man. I said, we're so proud of you. I said, we're so proud of you. Ha, 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 as we continue with more after this.
Hey, I'm Alan, and we ship floors on Bristol Highway in Johnson City. Are you tired of walking around on that ratty-looking carpet that you have? Well, today's your lucky day because we have Supercore on sale for $1.79. 58 colors we're liquidating. Supercore is the best waterproof floor with a lifetime warranty. Where are you going to find that anywhere else? Nowhere, let me tell you. $1.79, lifetime warranty. Come on down to Bristol Highway on your truck and trailer and let's make a deal.
You got to dream about buying some land and building on that land? Well, Waterside Contracting is your ticket. 25 years of making dreams come true, Michael Scott. For hundreds in our area, custom homes or remodels, Waterside Contracting will build on your lot. They do incredible work all over the area. Structural integrity, quality without compromise. It's a way of life with Waterside Contract. Check out the wonderful work Waterside does. WatersideContractingLLC.com. When it's time for your dreams to come true. Quality without compromising. Waterside Contracting.
College football fans, Chris Fowler here with the play call. This season, go for Dose with ice-cold refreshing Dos Equis. It's more than a single play. It's a mindset. Think of it as a 2-point conversion for real life. Taking the risk, making the bold move. Whenever we get the chance to go big, we take it. On the field and off, always go for Dose with Dos Equis. Enjoy Dos Equis responsibly. Copyright 2024 Dos Equis Lager Especial Beer. Imported by Cervezas Mexicanas, White Plains, New York.
Hi, I'm Jim Simpson, owner of Simpson Meats. When's the last time you grilled a really good burger or steak? One your friends still talk about. Our goal at Simpson Meats is to make that happen every time you have a cookout. All of our cuts of meats, steaks, burgers, briskets, and pork are always fresh, flavorful, and sustainably sourced. We are family owned, so we know the importance of knowing how and where your food is raised. We have been putting quality first since 1888. Visit our butcher shop off Lovell Road or online at simpsonmeats.com.
Tony Basilio along with the great Mark Griffin. And we're here to talk about our friends at Performance Medicine. And Griff, their slogan, stay educated, stay healthy. That's you.
Wow. I really like to think that, Tony, and I'd like to give Dr. Rogers a lot of credit because I definitely want to stay educated and healthy, and knowing that he's putting the time and effort in to make sure of my care. I want to encourage your listeners to put the time to learn and become educated and get to know Dr. Rogers and see if it can help with your health as well.
And there's a really, really easy way to do that. In fact, they've got their own YouTube channel. You can see Dr. Rogers for himself with his staff. It's called The Performance Medicine Show over at the Performance Medicine channel over on YouTube. Also, more information at performancemedicine.net. To our friends in North Knoxville, a brand new location over in Fountain City, now accepting patients. So many ways to reach Dr. Rogers. And like they say, stay educated, stay healthy. Performance Medicine, online, performancemedicine.net.
Located in Knoxville's historic Old City, Barley's offers great food, live music, the best draft beer selection in town, and now your new favorite place to watch sports. Their indoor projector is perfect for any weather, and they've revamped their upstairs area with more TVs to take in all of the action. Their menu features hand-battered chicken tenders, juicy burgers, fresh salads, and the tastiest pizza in Knoxville. You can enjoy their happy hour drink specials daily from open until 6 p.m. Barley's Tap Room and Pizzeria.
Tony Basilio here, and I got the great Chad Stockton of FC Alliance 2026. Chad, do you believe we've made it?
Boys and girls teams start off the new year at big national event showcases. We got our younger kids training indoors and doing a lot of things to get better. So we're excited about what the future holds.
Chad, I hear the juice behind you. I hear the kids. Your program reaches throughout East Tennessee. If folks want to get involved, what's the advice?
We're easy to get in touch with. We offer players at all ages, all levels, all experience. We have a program for all of our kids that we have, and we're excited for anyone to join us.
And even some Lady Vols as well. Several college players all over the country, yes?
Absolutely. We had a lot of girls that we were able to watch play in the NCAA tournament. A lot of our former players made big runs through the tournament. We're so excited for them.
Growing the beautiful game. In this, the year of the World Cup in North America, celebrate the beautiful game. Get your child involved. FCAllianceKnox.org. That's FCAllianceKnox.org. And Chad, thank you, man. Keep growing the beautiful game.
Absolutely, Tony, and thank you very much.
Preparing food for a big gathering can really take it out of you. That's why you need to call Calhoun's and check out their selection of party platters. Whether you're hosting a party for the big game, a reunion, or just an everyday gathering, a Calhoun's party platter is next level. Choose from Calhoun's always excellent chicken tenders, fly with Calhoun's wings, or boneless wings with a variety of dipping sauces, award-winning next-level melt-in-your-mouth barbecue ribs, or delicious spinach artichoke dip, or get one of each. Plus, if you're doing burgers or sandwiches, Calhoun's has lots of side dishes like spinach Maria, baked cinnamon apples, Smoky Mountain baked beans, or creamy coleslaw. Available in pints, quarts, and gallons. And to finish things off, pick up one of Calhoun's great desserts to go, including homemade cheesecake or key lime pie. Calhoun's, simply your go-to party headquarters. With 9 locations all over East Tennessee, you can order online and just pick it up. Calhoun's, one of the Copper Cellar family of restaurants, along with Chesapeake's, Copper Cellar, Corner 16, Cherokee Grill, and Smoky Mountain Brewery. Eat local, eat good.
From the sunrise over the Smokies to the Saturday cheers at Neyland Stadium, Knoxville isn't just where we live, it's home. But let's be honest, finding your perfect spot in a hot market can feel like a full-time job. Whether you're looking for a Craftsman in 4th and Gill, a family home in Farragut, or a view in South Knox, the market moves fast. You need more than a listing. You need an edge. And that's where I come in, Jennifer Morris with Keller Williams Realty. And I specialize in helping Knoxville buyers win. I don't just find houses, I find the right fit for your budget and your lifestyle. Ready to unlock your front door? Visit nextmovesmokymountains.com or call me at 865-694-5904. That's nextmovesmokymountains.com. And as always, go Vols.
Like our 2026 football Vols, score a T3 TD every time with T3 Vodka, Tennessee's premium vodka. Handcrafted with passion, precision, and a whole lot of pride. Right here, handcrafted in the majesty of the foothills of the Great Smoky Mountains. Quality around here isn't just a promise, it's a way of life. And T3's filtered 10 times. 80 proof of vodka delivering a smoothness unmatched. This dedication to excellence has earned T3 Vodka prestigious accolades, like a 5-time gold medal award-winning vodka and your SIPS Consumer Choice Award medal winner as well. Whether you're sipping it neat, on the rocks, mixing your favorite cocktail, T3 Vodka, your choice for a premium award-winning experience. Be like Maury Hanks. Score a T3 TD. Ask for T3 Vodka by name at restaurants and wine and liquor stores today. Drink it neat, drink it right, and score a T3 TD all 2026 long. Tennessee's Premium Vodka. T3, Tennessee's Premium Vodka. Distributed by Empire Distributors of Tennessee. TB back with you. 865-200-5402 is my numero dos. As we've got Griff in the house, we're breaking it down scientifically with you. These guys were having an excellent discussion during the break, and I was working on Irish Washerwoman because I'm playing music tonight. I'm playing some fiddle tunes, Irish songs I haven't played in 8 to 10 years out. So that's going to be really...
Give me a popular Irish tune that you might play, the name of the song.
Well, Irish Washerwoman. That's what I was just working on.
Do you think a lot of people in your audience are familiar with those lyrics?
They're not lyrics. It's the melody. You've heard it. Oh yeah,
that was in the movie.
There you
Departed.
go. Now we're talking, Shepard.
Thanks for educating me, Tony.
Shepard.
Hey, Tony, let me give you a tip. The more green beer that's served, it's not going to matter how great it is. I hate to tell you.
Amen to that, brother. We'll be down there. They'll be serving green beer tonight between 5:30 and 8:30. If you're going to the ball game, come on in and warm up. We'll be out there on the warm patio. They're going to close the doors and turn the heat up. We're going to turn the heat up with you, and we're going to have us a lot of fun. Then we'll be back here on Friday for the Missouri series, and I hope our manager / head coach this time is paying attention. All right, so back to where we were. Griff, somebody's asking you over here a question for Griff. Let me see if I'm missing here because these comments are coming in quickly. Question for Griff. TN Vol 81 says the following. I feel Boswell's a good athlete. He just looks like he's slept slow covering some of these guards. Is it you feel that way too, Griff, about when you watch him? Because it looks like teams have figured out down the stretch here how to exploit him. It's like happening more and more now.
Well, what I can comment on that's a great question. And watch him when they play. He doesn't. We talked about this with Gillespie, how good he is at getting in a stance.
Yep.
What the problem with what I've seen with Boswell is he loves to run with players when they're driving to the basket. He doesn't get in front of players. And that's a disadvantage to the defender. He has to be a step quicker. And I'm not saying he's not quick, but he's got to be a step quicker to get between the ball and the basket. And when you're gliding alongside, and you guys I know can visualize this because I can already see what's going to happen. Yeah. He's gliding along or striding with the guy shoulder to shoulder. If that offensive player is smart at all he's got to do is just jump into Boswell. He's getting the foul. Feet aren't set. He's not in a defensive stance. He's standing straight up. I guarantee you 75% of his fouls, he's standing straight up. And he's chasing by. He's running by a defender. And that's what you always see. And he gives that look to the sideline like, I didn't do anything. Yes, you did. You're not in a stance. You're not between the ball and the basket. And that is a teachable skill, but he's just not adhering to that skill. And it's a major liability. If I'm telling you what, and I'm 59 years old, and I'm playing Boswell on the hyper court, he runs alongside me, I'm jumping into his butt because I know it's going to get called 95% of the time. They're going to call that for the offense.
Well, Mark, why don't you correct that in practice?
Well, I think they try to correct it in practice, but it's one thing to get on a guy in practice and say, do this. It's another to execute it. I mean, I can think of many players that I played with, and even myself, some of my deficiencies I would work on, but can you actually execute them in a proficient manner? Sometimes that's tough. You get some guys that are really smart offensively, and these guys have an advantage. Offense always has an advantage over defense. They just do. And you see that more at the end of the season because, defense always starts out better than offense at the beginning of the season, and then the offense takes over. And for the most part, but it's just something I know he's working on. Staff obviously is aware of. How effective is he consistently? Not very. But then you go back, John, well, you gotta go with what you got. Who's it gonna be to take a spot unless it's Evans? What if they're both in there at the same time and Gillespie's got 3 fouls? Then who do you go with? So then you're looking down the bench going, I gotta go with him. I gotta suck it up. I mean, because you just don't have anybody. I'll give you a funny story, if you don't mind, because this just came to my mind. We're playing Florida back in like 87. If you remember Vernon Maxwell.
Oh, I loved him.
Oh, yeah, Andrew Moten, Vernon Maxwell, Dwayne Schitz.
Vernon Maxwell, they called him Mad Max. Crazy as all get out. And he played for the Rockets for years. Well, of course, we're playing them down in Gainesville. We're in a timeout. Coach DeVoe, of all things, says, Mark, or whatever he called me, said, you're guarding Maxwell. And I'm going, oh, shit, I can't guard that guy.
Yeah.
I mean, there's no way. But, I tried, but I couldn't guard him. He blew by me every freaking time. But you know why he put me on him? Because he didn't have anybody else better. So, see, when you run out of options, you just go with the best option you got. And I think that's what I really do think, that when people can rip Boswell all they want, they don't have another option. Now, you could say, why isn't Evans in there? Well, what is he bringing offensively? Or maybe he's already in the game and Boswell's in the game as well, because Boswell's he's playing 24 minutes a game or whatever? I mean, he's going to play. But if I'm the opposing team, that's one of my scout reports. Go at Boswell. It's obvious. Once again, great kid, a lot of energy. We never thought he would even play hardly this season. Surprised all of us.
No question. Maury said, if I'm another team, this is him the other day after the game, he says, if Tennessee refuses to play his own defense, I just continue to attack him. And
they're not going to play zone, Tony.
They're
not. I mean, of all the minutes, this is another one, Brian. Of all the minutes Tennessee's played this whole season, what percent do you think they played zone? What percent do you think they played zone? I mean, I like to throw that around the room.
That's it.
Really quick.
Matt, what do you think the percentage is, zone defense?
Probably 3 to 5%.
I'd agree with that.
Me too. I was going to say 5. John, what about you?
I have no idea. I just know it doesn't play much zone defense. But you see, to me, there's a real advantage to mixing up defenses in the course of a game, just to give a change of pace. It's like a major league pitcher. He doesn't just go fastball, fastball, fastball. He mixes up a changeup, maybe throws a curve, things like that. I just think you're not using all the tools in your box when you don't use his own defense occasionally. But there are coaches that just don't believe in it pretty much.
Most coaches. Tell me, here's another good trivia question. What coaches rely on zone? Oh, Boeheim's not coaching anymore, guys.
That's
Who
right.
plays zone that you can think of consistently? I can't name anyone consistently. I'm not saying won't mix it up. Missouri coach Dennis Gates did that to UT, ran a 1-3-1. You never see that, which I think is a great zone defense.
Who
You
was
take
the
away
old
the ball
Temple
out of the
coach?
middle.
John
But
Chaney.
think of an SEC coach. Name an SEC coach that even plays zone.
Mark, I'm convinced.
25%.
Mark,
No
I'm
one.
convinced that these guys won't do it because when they get together with them buddies down in Florida and they're at these conventions or wherever, they all look at each other and go, "Man, you're a weakling. You play zone." It's a sign of weakness in the sport. I don't understand it.
You know what? Here's another
It's the
thing,
truth,
too. Let's
Griff.
take it deeper.
It's the
And this
truth,
will hit
Griff.
all the parents out there listening that have kids that have come through travel ball or middle school or high school. You played zone all the time, and that's all you heard is, why are they playing zone? Why are they playing zone? Play a man. You get beat up every time you played a zone. When I coached travel ball, we played a zone. You know why? Because we were weak. We couldn't go up against guys man to man. So you played that because that was the best option you had to survive. Like John said, change it up for pace. Now, I'm not saying that all these coaches need to listen to me and start playing zone. It's just phased out. And it's unfortunate that it's not played more. Now, what I will look for during these tournament games, and John nailed it, is about pace. How are you going to change that pace? When you're playing Alabama, are you going to go up and down the court with them the whole game and hope that you score 95 and they score 92? You're going to lose. You're going to have to be smart enough to change the pace. And that's to run a zone at least maybe 5 to 10, or at least 10% of the time. But that's another fun part of the game to watch, to see how coaches make changes. And coaches are stubborn. They don't want to run a zone, like you said, Tony. They just don't want to do it.
Well, the other thing Maury said the other day, which is something Zach just touched on, which is if you play a zone that keeps your team fresher over the course of a year, you're not chasing. Boswell, so many of his fouls, and Griff's so right, it's such a little thing to point out, but when you're not athletic enough, you're constantly going to be chasing. You're constantly going to be collapsing on three-point shooters because you're not in a position to defend them, so you're going to fall on them, which he constantly does, or he'll commit a foul like 40 feet from the basket, and he's trying. He plays really hard. He tries. I got no trouble, and none of us do, with that kid's effort. He plays hard, but you know, you kind of look at this team going into March, and you just kind of go, man, they just look tired. That's sort of what I'm drawing from this Tennessee team, and I wonder if, well, John, you asked, those old school guys like Barnes, do they know when to pull back, especially on a lighter unit that doesn't have the numbers he's had in years past? You know, the Phillips guy getting hurt is really a big deal to this team. It really hurt them.
That was a significant
That's a real hidden
loss,
deal
sure.
here. Yeah.
Yeah, because he played a lot. I just think coaches, particularly successful coaches, they have a plan that has been proven over the course of time that this works. And when you're winning 20-something games a year for not just years, but for decades, you are you are slow to change. Why would you change? You're having success.
Yep.
And I don't think I don't think any coach has to change what they perceive as the basic identity of their team. But they can make more subtle shifts.
Yeah.
I mean, the idea is not to be married to a system, but be married to winning.
Well, it's Maury the other day got kind of frustrated about it, and Griff sounds like he's sort of frustrated about it, and they're just knocking. In the modern game, for whatever reason, it is a sign of weakness to play his own defense, and it makes Football coaches will mix up their coverage all day long from zone to man. They don't care what you call them at the coaches convention. They don't care how they win a game. They're there to win a game. It's not about them. They're there to win it. These basketball coaches, let me tell you something. These guys, and Bard's isn't alone, but it's about them. It's I'm going to play my way. It's like the guy at Texas A&M. Hey, buddy, I got news flash for you at A&M. They figured you out, Chief. You better come with something else like Kim Caldwell in her second year, because I got news for her. They figured her out. You better come with something else. If you want to stay in this league, you better come with something else, because it's going to be NFL for you. And you're not going to be here for long.
Well, think what they always say about NFL teams. The best quarterbacks.
Yep.
If you don't constantly change your coverage, let's take Tennessee's guy, Peyton Manning.
Yep.
If you stay in the same defense all the time,
yes,
Peyton Manning owned you. He's back there laughing.
It is. C's listening to us right now. He's got some numbers for us. We'll get to those in our overtime. The playbook with William Patterson's on the way next. You bow your head. You bow thy head when you say his name, because he's absolutely next level. We'll continue here in our extra time, overtime. If you want to get in with us, 865-200-5402. You better bow thy head when you say thy name, because Mark Griffin and the Lunchy Bunch has brought it to the absolute table today in triplicate. That man's come in here with some juice, some energy, some pop, some flavor. He's fired up, focused, and prepared. We're jacked up. We're going to look at some of the SEC teams in March, who dances, and also zone frequency. The number of zone frequency across college basketball right now is borderline maddening. In an era where, how many teams do you see that really shoot the ball well night in and night? That's the other thing about it. I don't know. It's bizarre, but it's a you-know-what measuring contest, and I would lose at that. So here's William Patterson.
You're listening to FM 105.7 and AM 1340, WKGN Knoxville, and W289CU Knoxville, Fan Run Radio.
Griff, I love when you come in here and you come in hot and the Lunchy Bunch, and you just got fired up, focused, and prepared just now, as you're an award winner. But you're also kind of a truth teller, Griff. Check this out. Zone defense frequency this basketball season. What do you think teams played zone in across the country? C just ran the numbers for us.
I'll say 6%.
You got it. 6.7% across the sport.
Good guess. Why didn't I say 5? Because I was feeling 6. Another one that I guess we're off air, but
go ahead.
When you watch a team go to a zone, situational plays, now that's what it is. It's like running an out of bounds play. Yep. It's situational defense. It's not consistent. And I've seen Tennessee many teams come out of a zone after one possession when a guy knocked it down. It's like, whoa, stay with it. It's one possession. That's another one to look for. How often or how long will a coach stay in a zone once they go if someone knocks down a three-pointer? I guarantee you they switch back to a man more than 75%. So there's another one. The bigger one for me, too, is you're playing man-to-man. You're talking about pace, John, and then you go to a zone. You shorten that possession. Why? Because once you cross half court, you have to get your offense set up against a zone. You're standing there holding the ball, which is a crime in basketball. But your point guard or your guard's holding the ball at least 5 seconds to get everybody in the offense. Next thing you know, you're under 12. You make 3 passes, you got to shoot the ball. I just don't see why. I'm not saying run zone all the time. I'm just shocked that it's not run more. And I think if it's going to be utilized, you'll see it some in this tournament. That's the part I'm really going to look for is who's going to step up and use a zone against a team that's hot.
And Maury's whole point was the other day, look, if you got guys and you got a guy at your 2 that's deficient guarding, you can't stick him out there and let somebody rip him apart for 30 points like we saw the other day. Griff, when was Bishop Boswell going to guard that kid? When was he going to stay in front of him, Griff? If we played 3 games, could he stay in front of him in the 3rd game, Griff? 4 games.
Only in the cafeteria. Only in the cafeteria line, waiting on food while he stay in front of him. That's it.
I mean, no offense. Okay, per synergy. Zone defense frequency, and this is C listening to us, because this is an interesting conversation. And look, it's real easy to be myopic like some of you are and beat on Barnes. I'm not myopic. I call all these coaches out. I think it's ridiculous.
We're not picking on Barnes.
No, this is a across the sport coach. This is an across the sport. These guys don't want to play zone because it's a lack of toughness in their deal, and it makes no sense to me. I don't care. You can call me what you want to call me. If I can get you out with an ethos pitch, I'll throw the ball up in the freaking air, and if you can't hit it, and I can get you, John, do you agree with that? And I can get you
Bill
out.
Spaceman Lee, I get you.
I'll throw an ethos pitch at you.
All right, Bill Spaceman Lee.
Yeah.
Right, John?
Yeah, whatever it takes
to
win.
Okay.
Yeah.
So these guys, I'm convinced it's a manhood thing with them. I'm a man. I ain't playing that shit. I ain't doing that. I'm a man.
Well, there's no doubt.
There's no question that's what this is. Check this out. Zone defense frequency. How else can you explain that you're in a sport where everybody's shooting 3 balls, okay, and nobody can shoot them? Why wouldn't I play a zone? Especially when, now that I'm in the NIL era and I only have an 8-team roster. I'm only playing 8 players a play, an 8-player roster, rather. It's even more reason to play a zone. Check this out. Zone defense frequency in major college basketball, 2025-2026, 6.7% in the sport. That's a shockingly low number. So just for comparison's sake, C ran the numbers for us. Griff, go back to 2014, okay? What do you think teams played just 13 years ago, 2013?
I'll say 15 to 20.
15 to 20. What's your guess?
That's about what I would say.
Matt Dixon, you're watching ball in 2014. What would you say?
Yeah, I'd say 10 to 12.
How about you, Brian Hartman?
I'll go between 20 and 25.
23% in 2014. Wow. 20. So we
put that on your blog, Tony.
Oh, it will be there tomorrow. We go from 23%.
Thank you very little. Thank you very little.
We go from 23% to 6.7%. Now, per synergy, okay? There's a coach in our league that didn't play 1 second of zone defense this year. Not 1 second per synergy. Anybody want to guess who the coach is? Let's go around the room. Who is it?
Calamari.
All right, that's a guess. Brian Hartman, who's your guess?
Chris Beard.
John, your guess?
Bucky Ball.
Bucky Ball's a good guess. Matt, who you got?
I feel like Calipari would be the easy answer.
The answer, ladies and gentlemen, is Todd Golden. They didn't play 1 second of zone.
The creeper defense isn't considered a zone?
Or is that the prowler defense?
So I'll tell you what, he could be the prowler or the creeper. Really? You're right.
Only another thing for your blog, since we're off air.
Yeah.
I guess we're off air, John.
We're not off air.
Also, you look at practice planning. What % of practice plans spend time running against a zone? I guarantee you, most practices, and I'm going back in the day, if we ever worked against a zone, it was at the very end when we did like situational out of bounds plays or any special defenses or special plays. You hardly spend any time, hardly any, and I'm going to say less than 10% working on offense. And the only time we ever did work on our zone was in scouting report if they ran a zone or we at least prepared for it, but it was minimal, and I guarantee you that's still going on today. I've been to many UT practices, never saw them work on a zone. So that's another part. They don't know how to really play a zone because they don't practice it. And, you got to practice it. I mean, and when you do run it, they're not effective. And I mentioned Calipari earlier. What made me think of him was he ran a zone at Kentucky several times and looked like Tennessee would beat the shit out of him every time he'd go to zone in Knoxville. Tennessee knew how to beat it, and then it was too late. The game was over.
Calamari.
Well, Dawn Staley against Tennessee, she hardly ever plays a zone, but
And
she
that's
put
exactly
on one
what she
against
did.
Tennessee.
She clinicked them in the second half.
And they looked as though they were playing against space aliens.
Poor Kim Caldwell. Bottom 3 teams in zone, because I'm going to get to the women's game here in a second. I got some numbers for you guys that will pop your eyeballs out of your head. Griff,
I don't know if I can stay that long,
No,
but
Griff,
go ahead.
wait
I
till
go
you-
about 20 after.
Griff, wait till you hear some of these numbers in this women's tournament.
I don't know if I want to know.
Some of these lines. You got teams out there, John, in this thing. I don't know why we have 64. What? Just because of men do it, we have 64 teams?
Yeah.
That's
why.
idiotic. How many?
They have a play-in round now, too. They have their own first 4.
A play-in round.
68, Tony.
68? Wait till you hear some of these lines in the first 68. Wait till you
always
hear
been
some of
played.
these lines in the first round. John, if they were going to have a serious tournament, how many should make their field? A serious tournament for the women.
I think 32 would be
Thank
a
you.
good number.
Thank you. He's speaking the truth. And would the Lady Vols have made a 32-team field this year?
No.
They would have gotten in the back end, right? They probably would have gotten in because they're the Lady Vols.
No, they wouldn't have gotten in.
All right, Michigan State, you guys ready for this? The bottom 3 teams in zone defenses in the country. We know Florida's one of them, okay? 2 of them are Hall of Fame basketball coaches that these days live in the Elite 8.
Well, you just spit the name out, so.
Michigan State's one of them. And who's the other one, guys?
Galvin Sampson.
You got it. Brian Hartman. Bottom 3 teams in zone frequency, Florida, Houston, Michigan State. You ready for this, guys? Michigan State hasn't played a possession of zone defense since what year, John? Take a guess at this. You talk about a guy that's the ultimate tough guy, not married, just will not do it, doesn't want to hear about it at the cocktail party when he's out with his coaching buddies. 2021. They haven't done it in 6 basketball seasons now.
Okay, here's another one for you. I'll take a step further. They'll use that in recruiting because they'll have a kid that's getting recruited by Virginia.
Yes.
Let's say a team may play some. They'll say, "Look, you come here. We're not playing zone.
Playing zone.
And done it since 2021. They have it. They have all that information too.
Sure, they do. We'll develop
You
you.
come here, we're going to run. Like you don't think Nate Oates is like, "Hey, we come up here. It's NBA. I'm getting you ready for the next level."
The
We
lead.
average 92.1 points a game, and we've been top 2 since I've been here. Blah blah blah. That's all recruiting pitch.
Yep.
It's all about recruiting versus anything else. Even execution or winning a game, it's like I'm sticking with it.
Hey, Matt Dixon, give me a number, okay? Tennessee, C's running the numbers here. He's wild when he starts running them. Tennessee has played blank possessions of zone defense the last 2 seasons of basketball, Matt. What do you think that number is? How many possessions, Matt? C's running the numbers right now.
Offense?
In 2
Zone-
years,
zone
maybe
defense.
25.
25, okay. What's your guess? How many?
I have no idea.
What do you got, Griff? How many possessions?
20. I'd say 20. But 25 is a great guess. I'll say 20.
8 possessions of zone defense the last 2 years.
So
there you go.
let's kind of review here.
Yeah.
Give me some advantages to playing a zone defense. What
Griff, go
are
ahead.
some advantages to playing a zone?
Well, first advantage is you hide a weakness on defensively when you're playing man, but they're not going to say that. Coaches aren't going to say that.
Okay, but we know that's a foul.
You hide
Okay,
a
that's
weakness.
one. What
Okay.
else?
Another one, you mentioned is change pace. Change pace of the game, and it rests your defense.
That's
Without
the
saying,
reason.
once
It
again,
rests
this
your
is not
defense.
post press conference, but you're buying your guys some airtime to get their legs underneath them. It's like, let's slow it down. Let's guard an area versus a man, and I'm going to buy you some airtime so you can be a little fresher. That's evident. Another thing is you throw. I'll give you a third one. You may throw off a hot player. You got a guy that's driving every possession, like the kid, the bushy-haired kid from Missouri or Boogie Flan. You're like, hey, let's go to the zone. You're not going to penetrate our zone, we hope. So let's stick him outside. See if he can shoot because he's killing us inside. That's another reason.
Well, see, Mark, I went to school with Pete Maravich, and when teams played LSU, they played a box and one where they had
Yeah.
So they're essentially in a zone, and then have a guy trailing Pete because he's going to shoot 40-something times a game. But
I still love those days, man. The triangle and two, Griff, the boxing ones.
Well,
you just don't see it anymore, Griff. I still love the triangle and two.
So
you don't see it anymore.
Okay, so what are the problems with playing a zone? What are the negatives to playing a zone?
Offensive rebounding, for sure, because you're guarding space. So it gives the defense, gives the offense a huge advantage going to the boards. And another huge gap in a zone, especially 2-3, is you get the ball in the middle. Every coach, I don't care if they teach church league on Saturday night, they're going to tell you if they run a zone, get that ball in the middle.
Well, the Lady Vols didn't do that
because it's easy to break in that area. It's easy to penetrate. Let's put it that way.
She's getting the hang of it. All right,
it's a short-term fix, more or less.
Let's take the quiz here for the league. Okay, true or false, Mark Griffin? Arkansas this year gets to the Sweet 16. Yes or no?
Let me look it up.
All right.
Because I have
pull your bracket out. Yep.
Let me go to my bracket. Sorry,
boys, I'm asking you boys now to. We're just going to do this real quick because Griff's got to go, and then we'll continue the conversation. Listen,
yes, they do get to the Sweet 16. Right. I got them going to the Sweet 16 against Arizona, losing.
Me too. Matt Dixon, what do you say to that? I say Arkansas gets by Hawaii, and they get by Wisconsin. If Wisconsin beats High Point.
Yeah, as I've said before, I've been really high on this Arkansas team in the tournament. I hate the draw against the Arizona in the Sweet 16, but
yes.
I'm taking a risk. I think Arkansas makes the Final Four.
And as Brian Hartman said, they did Arkansas no favors in that draw. They're treating them like an absolute freaking snack cake.
But
they snack cake them.
I tell you, though, with Arkansas, I know Arizona's kind of everybody's
they could knock
team.
them out. That's Matt's thought.
When you got a player as good as Darius Acuff and then players around him, I mean, he's a guy that scored 30 points on anybody and hand out 10 assists.
To quote the old slogan, the NCAA tournament was made for Acuff. The NCAA tournament.
Guys, I picked Arkansas over Wisconsin. That's a game I'm concerned about. Wisconsin's playing really good. You talk about a team that's you can see their trajectory going up and playing together.
Yep.
They've got just enough blend and a little depth of beef inside that Arkansas does not have. They got Brazil. He likes to step out and shoot threes. They got the big kid inside to transfer from Ole Miss. I think it's Ewing. Is that his name?
Yes.
But they have nobody inside Arkansas at all.
There are a lot of teams
Wisconsin
like that.
can bang them up. Now, obviously, trump card Acuff. You just got to mobilize him neutralize him the best you can. But I struggled picking that 4-5 game with Wisconsin based on what I've seen.
It's going to be a screwy tournament. Maybe chalky. Who knows? Moving along.
Of course, I got Texas beating Gonzaga, so what do I know?
Sure. So you got Texas rolling tonight, getting hot out of that deal and making a run.
Yes.
Good. All right, let's move along here. Alabama, Matt Dixon, true or false? They beat the Flying Dutchman of Hofstra. They turn around and beat a banged-up Texas Tech team, and they're in the Sweet 16. Matt, true or false?
Unfortunately, I think that's true. They got a really good draw with a Texas Tech team that's not playing to their seat anymore because they lost their best player, and may even get upset by Akron, who was actually probably the best team in the MAC, even though they didn't beat Miami, Ohio. But I think Bama got a great draw, and they're going to get to the second weekend, unfortunately.
There's a lot of teams that have, in this era, you look at these teams, there's a lot of teams that have a great front court and a weird back court, or a great back court and they're deficient in the front. There's a lot of these, almost incomplete basketball teams. It's a weird, when you look at the field, continuing, and I agree with Matt, I think that Alabama team, despite losing the enterprising young man who can now gets to focus on his business.
His entrepreneurial skills.
Yes, he's got entrepreneurial spirit or something. True or false, Mark? Florida and Vanderbilt reach the Sweet 16 and meet in the Sweet 16, Griff?
I say true, but let me back up to Alabama.
Right.
I really struggle with the Alabama-Michigan. A lot of people have Michigan win it at all. But the way Alabama plays, with their shooting over 36 threes a game,
yes.
And you were talking about front court, back court. You talk about juxtaposition of teams. Alabama, I think, has got the best talent in the SEC, not the best record, but can they offset with Michigan and outshoot them by threes? Because you win or die by the three. Michigan's so powerful inside, but their weakness, every team has a weakness, is their guards. And with the Kaysen kid out, you have less depth at guard. I mean, Cadeau can only do so much, and I think Alabama could really surprise Michigan. Now, I picked Michigan, but I wouldn't be surprised if Alabama could beat Michigan. I really would.
John,
Wouldn't be surprised.
John, Lady Vols going to get Michigan in that second round. They're going to beat them on their home floor.
No.
Moving along. Question for you, Griff. And by the way, we'll go to the phones at 865-200-5402. Nate Ament, Griff, is healthy enough to function in 2 NCAA tournament games at a high level this weekend.
That's a question?
Yeah, I'm asking you. What do you think?
Because he's going to function. I don't know how effectively he's going to be because we don't know.
I'm concerned.
He better function effectively, or they're going to be packing up and heading back to Knoxville.
Well, I'm concerned about what I saw in that second game against Vanderbilt. Now, people will say, well, you get an extra day. I'm just going to say it one more time. When I saw how dead he was to the world on Friday, that concerns me. John, is that a fair thing to say or no? Or do you think that extra day gives him time to rest and recover, and we'll see a really good Nate Ament twice?
Yeah, it's hard to say. I think a lot of it could depend on how he's defended and as far as the opponent, how much pressure they put on him.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I think teams are going to...
he matches up well against
SMU.
Either SMU or Miami of Ohio. Virginia's going to bang them because they're big.
Yes,
they're big. And they'll have a big on him. And I feel that with the first night that they play, he's going to be able to take advantage of his height, back guys down like you see he does so effectively.
Yes.
Virginia's going to put a big on him. And I'm not going to be a five-man, but let's say it's a four-man. Someone maybe 6'8" to 6'9"-ish with their personnel. And then he can't back them down. Now, he could go by, but you drive by a big at Virginia. Who do you got? You got the shot blocker that used to play at Kentucky. You've got your Ritter. You've got help. So that's not as ideal a matchup for him.
Matt and I are of the belief that Virginia game is going to take a hellacious game from both of our two guys to get through it. Now, it's a doable. Of all the draws that they have off that line, the 3 line, it's the most doable. And if you play the thing out to the 16, that could be a winnable game for Tennessee. Now, I'm not saying they're going to. I think getting to the Sweet 16 would be a terrific accomplishment for this basketball team, for where they are. People don't want to hear that. They want to hear magical thinking. Hey, I'm all for magical thinking. I love it. But I don't think this is a time and the place. But I could be wrong. So, Griff, this is the ultimate final question for you on the way out. When we do Marky Mark and the Lunchy Bunch next week, and we will do it next week because it's been incredible with the Hall of Famer Mark Griffin, who's going to be honored by the Greater Knoxville Sports Hall of Fame with the Pat Summitt Award, as we talked about earlier. Congratulations to you, Griff. That's awesome.
Oh, thanks, man.
Griff, will the Tennessee Volunteers be alive and well?
Yes.
Bang.
I don't hesitate.
Bang.
Because I really do feel they will. There's no excuses not to. I mean, I think you look at matchups, and I have to touch on this. I would rather, as a Tennessee fan or player, play Virginia than I would Michigan State right now as a 3. I don't want to play Illinois. I know they played them already.
Totally agree.
But Illinois will bang them to death, and then their guard is just much better than what we have.
Yep.
Was it Wagler or Keegan Wagler? Their guard, it's an All-American. It's going to be a lottery pick. You could say, what about Gonzaga? But I don't want to play in Portland against Gonzaga. I mean, that would be a team that I would love to play in Philly, but they're in Portland. I don't want to play Gonzaga in Portland. So I was actually happy with that draw. No disrespect to Virginia, but I just think Tennessee can match up well against them. I really do.
Griff, I love you. Anything else you'd care to add here on the way out before we go to the phones? And you got to go.
I got to run. No, but thanks, guys.
Love
Go
you,
Vols. And this is my month long of Christmas. Yesterday was tough. There was no games on, but there is from now till April 7th or whenever the championship is. So I'm looking forward to that. And I will be in my little bunker watching games as much as I can.
John, I like you with your Rachel Starble too. John, Griff, thank you.
What?
Love you.
Appreciate it. Love you guys. See you, man.
Double thing you're doing. I like that. You're growing a little beard there. John Adams is in the house. All right, we'll go to the phones. Matt, we've gotten off an interesting discussion there about the zone stuff. It's amazing how much has disappeared from this modern game, isn't it, Matt? It's weird.
Yeah. I guess it probably is in correlation with just kind of the Steph Curry 3-point era phase that we've gone through the last 10 or 15 years where, that 3 points with analytics and just the reliance on threes and how everybody shoots a bunch of them. And if you can make them, you can torch a zone doing that. It probably has something to do with that.
Yep.
But it is odd that you just don't see it at all, even just a little bit. And it's one of the things, one of the advantages of it we didn't really talk about, but other teams just aren't prepared for it. I mean, there were 3 or 4 years where Jim Boeheim and Syracuse barely snuck into the field, but made Elite Eight, Final Four runs with double-digit seeds because they went up against teams and they played that 2-3 zone, and the other teams just couldn't figure it out in time to be able to beat them. So it is weird that it's gone. You'd think somebody somewhere would lean heavy on it because that's just such a matchup nightmare because you just don't see it.
So you're just about as likely to see a zone defense as you are to see a triple option offense in college football.
That's exactly
now.
right. That's a really great point. Speaking of football, guys, GMAC tells the media today that he's gained 20 pounds. And by the way, this Faison Brandon guy does not look like a freshman physically. That is a big kid.
Yeah, that's
a tough putt, Coach.
That's what Adam Sparks told me the other day.
He does not look like He looks like a guy capable of taking the ball on day one and putting himself through the rigors of this. That is a specimen. Nico, he ain't. Okay? Nico, he ain't. That is a big old dude, man.
Joe Milton was pretty big, too.
Well, so's the line between... Hey, Brian Hartman, you ready? LSU and Jacksonville are going to get it on, bang a gong, get it on, in the 2 versus 15 matchup in Baton Rouge. What's the line, Brian, that game? Take a guess at it.
It's 51.5.
This guy's a joy killer. He already saw it.
I was going to say 57. I would get the points.
Could you imagine making a bet trailing by 51 points when you turn the game on? Like if you bet on LSU to cover, right?
Yeah.
You're down 51.5 to nothing when the game starts. That's got to be...
Well,
if you watch that, that's got to be a maddening watch, right?
Yeah, but when you think about the disparity in the women's game from the top teams to the lower level teams...
Yes.
If you were on the other side of that bet, you wouldn't be comfortable either because those points are... LSU averages, 95 a game. They... one of the highest scoring teams in women's history, and so they can run it up, and they have depth. So they bring in their backups. They just keep playing.
By the way, go over to tclub.team and check out some of that stuff we have. Matt's got great stuff on the baseball team. I just cannot believe what happened Sunday. It's one thing to, like, you just kind of have a pitching chain. You're not going to get them right all the time. You're just not. You can't sit there and let a guy just get himself choked out like that. And our pitching coach walks out there and he's got his hood up like it's 12. I mean, what are we doing? No offense. No offense.
Frank Anderson had his hood up when they were in Omaha, and it's 95 degrees.
But that, for some reason, on that real tall, skinny guy, it's a different look. But we'll move along. Number 1 UConn versus San Antonio, John. What's the line in that game?
I'll say 61.
51.5. That's value. You'd play that San Antonio team to stay in that number? No, you wouldn't.
No, I would take UConn.
Cal Baptist, 16 seed versus number 1 UCLA.
45.
51.5.
So
Vanderbilt against High Point.
40.
51.5.
Jeez, there are a lot of 50-point lines. You didn't used to see betting lines on women's games.
And now you're seeing it.
Now
and it's
you're
not
seeing
a pretty picture.
Boy.
Number 2 Michigan against Holy Cross. A number 2 versus a 2 versus 15. What do you got, John?
43.
41.5. All right, let's go deeper into the bracket, okay? How about a 3-14 game, Duke versus Charleston, John? Now, obviously, it comes down some, but
34.
31.5. All right, how about this? Number 5 Maryland against 12, a 12-5 game, okay? In the men's game, Brian, a 12-5 game, what's the number going to be generally? 12-5 game.
It's probably going to be around
9, 10.
Some are in the single digits. Some may be low teens.
How about 30.5 in women's basketball?
I combined all the 5-12 men's lines, and
yeah.
I think theirs combined was around 33.5. So just one 5-12 game in the women's line was almost as much as all the men's 5-12 lines combined.
Jeez. What is the line on Tennessee women and against NC State?
They are a 1-point favorite.
Tennessee's a 1-point favorite.
Actually, NC State's flipped a 1-point favorite now.
So
it's kind of flipped. So
that doesn't surprise me that people that are betting for real are not betting on us to win a game. Does that surprise you, John?
No, because this team is so volatile.
They've lost 10 of 12.
But that's not the kind of team you would bet on, though.
Let me tell you this. I'm not trying to be funny with the Lady Vols, okay? John can sit this one out, but I'm just going to share this with you. We're in overtime, extra time, your time, my time, our time. Anybody still listening deserves to, get a giggle here. There's probably more of a chance that a player would swing on a coach in this game than the Lady Vols win. I mean, just saying. I'm going to repeat it. There's probably more of a chance that a player from Tennessee would swing on a coach than we win the game. And by the way, you can play over at VIP Play, ladies and gentlemen, where everybody, and then we go to the phones, including our callers, get treated like VIPs. Listen, to our callers, you get treated like a VIP with me. Everybody gets treated like a VIP over at VIP Play. And ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, they've got your March Madness, and boy, howdy, do they have it. Tonight's play-in games. You heard Griff say he's got Texas launching. Maybe you play the Longhorns on out like Griff. Griff says the Texas is launched tonight and a star is born out of Austin. Who knows? But they're live always with 200-plus leagues, the NCAA tournament, the NIT tournament. It's unbelievable, Andy. Everybody gets treated like a VIP at VIP Play. If you have a gambling problem, 800-889-9789, 21 and over, located in the great state of Tennessee to place a bet. Brian, they've been beating on me all day over on YouTube and also in the Twitter for this not being a phone call intensive show. John Adams, before we go to the phones, what have you thought of today's show? Kind of guest oriented, a lot of content. What have you thought? Bad show?
Oh, it's never bad, Tony. You're a superstar in this business.
Stop it. John says self-amused. All right, let's go to the phones. He's making himself laugh over here. Hello and welcome in. You're on the show. Welcome in.
Hey, Tony. Tony, Zach, what's up?
Hey,
John
Zachy,
Adams.
baby.
Hey, there's nothing better than being able to make yourself laugh, be a self-comedian.
Yep.
That's truly a gift.
It's an art. It's a talent.
Thank you.
It's a talent.
Yeah. Well, I mean, maybe you can tell us what the joke is later, but speaking on the zone, I'll just say this. I was at the LSU game this year, and they went zone on us, and we didn't know what in the hell to do for like a good 3 minutes.
Which is a great example because when you're a lesser team, that's when you go to the zone. When you're a lesser team, that's when you play one of the gimmicky offenses in college football. That's just the old adage.
Run the old veer.
Yep. But what you're doing there is when you go to the cocktail parties, the other coaches are going to go, "You played that damn zone on us. You played that damn," and I'd be like, "Yeah," and you never solved it. So
That's
one
right.
of us is being paid to coach, and one of us didn't coach at night. So goody on you. You played you know they do that, John. You know they look at each other and they go, "You played that zone on us. You played," because Griff said that's exactly right. You played that zone on us.
I can imagine, them guys in the off season. I don't know if Barnes is a big measurer. I'm sure he probably is.
They all are, man. They all are. Of course, they're in a highly competitive deal. But like Matt said, just a little arrow in your quiver that you keep there. You don't have to do it all the time. But every once in a while, pull the thing out, man.
I was nerding out the other night. I was looking at some of our games and looking at these guys like Acuff and Miles. A lot of these teams in Missouri, their players had their biggest point performance of the year against us, and that's the time.
Can you send that to me, please? If you wrote that down.
I can. Yeah, sure.
I'll give you attribution, just like I gave the guy today up in Morristown, or in where was he? There's a guy on our blog that wrote a guest blog for us today, talking about how if you want to make money betting on the tournament, the teams that have to travel the furthest, bet against those teams. Bet against those teams. Those are the teams that are not going to fare well. History is showing. And I believe that, John. That makes sense, right? You're going the furthest away from home?
Yeah, and it makes sense when you're looking at the Big Ten in football, when you got teams traveling all the way across the country to play games so often.
Yep.
That's just wild. It's just a happy St. Patrick's Day to all of you, even if you're not Irish. So I appreciate it, Tony. I'd love to catch your live music sometime.
Come out and play with us, Zach. I want you to come play with us.
I would, man. We could do set in, and we could play like I was thinking of a good Irish song. What's that? The Tura Lurai, or we could do some Van Morrison.
There you go. I'll play some Van with you. We'll do Van Lowe's Stairway.
My band used to play Moon Dance a lot.
Oh, I love that. That's so pretty.
Yeah. Anyways, happy Tuesday, St. Patrick's Day, y'all, and we'll get updates later on.
Thank you, brother. John, are you a Van Morrison guy?
No.
Well, it's a marvelous night for a moon dance. What's your favorite Van Morrison, Brian? Do you have one?
Who's Van Morrison?
And it stoned me, such a great song. Van Lowe's Stairway is it's insane. When Will I Ever Learn to Live in God is a great song. I was playing the other day, the song that you play in the park that makes people smile is that song in E major. But I drive Lance crazy and Lauren because I don't know titles. I hum melodies to them. You fill my life with gladness, take away all my sadness.
I
Ease
gotta
my
go,
trouble,
Tony.
That's what you do. Hello and welcome in. You're on the air. Hello. Try it one more time. It's a shame. There you go. What's up, Lee?
What's going on, brother?
Sing
How you
it, don't
doing,
bring it, brother. It's a big boy Christmas time of the year, man. We're going to unwrap some gifts tonight.
Yeah, no doubt, man. Yeah, just on the zone stuff, I know the ego thing plays a role with this with coaches, but it's mostly to do with like the whole with analytics, like winning the shot volume battle. These coaches aren't going to give up offensive rebounding to play zone. That's the biggest thing. That's my issue with Tennessee going to a zone. Is that's the best thing that we do. And I don't think you can negate your rebounding by going to a zone. You know, there's different ways to like mix up your coverages without going to a zone. I just think we need to be less predictable out on the perimeter. Like we switch everything, these teams know it, and then we can't stop anybody that can maintain their dribble. So I would like to see us at least like start employing some different strategies out there on the perimeter, like with drop coverages, super drop coverages, like hedge those ball screens, like blitz them, trying to get the ball out of guys' hands, stuff like that, rather than going to a zone.
Well, it's interesting, too, because they obviously, teams have figured out that Boswell is the guy that's going to get it on defense. They've just figured it out, Lee, down the stretch here.
Yeah, I mean, and he's definitely, I would say he's the worst. But if we're being fair, it ain't just Boswell, man. It's Bird, it's Gillespie.
Well,
Evans has trouble with it too. He can't keep anybody that can maintain their dribble in front of him. It's pretty much all of them, no matter who's out there.
Well, that's not a good sign. That's not a good thing to say.
And we've also played some pretty good guards here down the stretch.
Great guards.
We played Vandy twice. We played, Alabama. Oklahoma's got really good guards.
Yep.
I mean, obviously the Missouri kid kind of went off, which that's an outlier, but that kind of goes to the point. But we have at least played some of the better, guard teams in the league here down the stretch to kind of expose us. And I mean, we've talked about Boswell is just not athletic enough to be able to recover when he gets behind, like Griff said. He's just, a step slow in recovery, and that's, you're just not going to be able to do to get in position like Yves Pons or Meshack could.
Yeah, like you mentioned the guys that like don't zone. The correlation with Michigan State and Florida and Houston is they're all also the best rebounding teams in the country too, and those coaches just aren't going to give that up. Especially Golden, who's like been way ahead in that whole analytics thing for like the last 5 years. He's just not going to do it.
Well, the thing is, Lee, who's hot? Who do you buy Vandy in the Sweet 16 right now, Lee? Are you buying that?
Yeah, man. I think that Florida Vandy game, if we get it in Sweet 16, is one of the biggest games of the whole entire tournament. I really think whoever wins that game can makes it to the Final Four.
What would Danny White do if Vanderbilt went to the Final Four? I mean, what are you going to sell our fan base? Think about that, John. What a nightmare. That's a nightmare.
Well, Vanderbilt kind of has the upper hand in everything right now.
But we're the everything school. They get beaten everything school.
If another SEC team that's never been to a Final Four gets there before the Vols, I think a lot of folks in the fan base will just say, I give up.
It's Van Halen, 1984. It's time to jump.
I'm already at that point.
That would be miserable. Yeah, no doubt. But like I said, I think they got underseeded. I don't think they should have been a 5, but their draw is not bad. They're playing really well right now. I think that game is just massive in the whole tournament.
Oh, so you don't think that was a fluke? You don't think Vandy beating Florida the other day was fluky?
No, I said the other night, everything that Vandy does well is what you have to do well to beat Florida. There's not a lot of teams that can do what they do. Like as far as turning you over and not turning it over yourselves, like to win the shot volume battle, and plus you've got to hit threes against Florida. You just have to. It's really hard to hit them against Florida because they scout you so well and they take away the 3 ball. But Vandy's able to figure it out and they've hit their shots. So yeah, I mean they match up really well against Florida. I mean the 2 games they played them, they put up over 90 points both games. I don't think that's a coincidence. But
And any other thoughts for us, Lee? God, I'm losing my voice.
The other one I was just going to say is I'll book y'all's action on Arkansas if they get Arizona. I think Arkansas is great. I love Acuff. I can watch him play basketball all day. That team doesn't play defense, man, and they don't rebound. They will get annihilated by Arizona on the boards. They will get destroyed in the paint, Arizona. And they want to go fast against the best team in transition, which is Arizona. I don't think Arkansas is a prayer. Arizona put up 100 on them. I'm not really buying the Arkansas thing. Even though I love Acuff, I just don't think they have a chance. I don't think anybody in that region is beating Arizona, man.
Well, Lee, thanks, man.
I mean, it's one game. If it's one game,
it's the randomness of the deal, right? You're the man, brother. Thank you. And Acuff, listen, you got to have one of those 7-second players. The problem is Arizona has them too. This Acuff guy's a great player, though. There's just no question. That's the thing that's going to be really fun about the tournament, John, is that there's so many stars in this deal. So many young stars, so many freshmen that can play. It's going to be a lot of fun when the ball tips off.
I'm really looking forward to the tournament because I think this has been a really good college basketball season. Yes. There's more talent in the game. Mm-hmm. NILs help with that.
Yep.
There's more scoring in the game.
Yep.
Most teams are kind of going up tempo. It's just more fun.
Hey, Bry. Now, you said something in the middle of Lee's call. I just can't let go here. I want to talk to you. Now, what? He thinks that Florida and Vanderbilt, Brian, could be, if it gets there, who knows? Maybe Florida gets upset. But he thinks that Vandy could be alive, to get by Florida and maybe make a run to the Final Four. And then you uttered something I've never heard you say, Brian. What were you saying? I want to unpack that with you.
If we have to watch another SEC program that's never been to a Final Four before reach that pinnacle before the Vols do, I think many people are just going to, if they're not there already, just give up. Just completely, totally give up.
And what was the second part of that, Brian? What did you say?
That's the gist of what I said. I don't remember.
You said, and I already have. You said, and I already have. I've never heard you that despondent, man.
I've had it beat out of me. Just this whole getting your hopes up, and then watching Auburn go twice, and watching South Carolina go twice, or whatever, and once, and I just got to the point where I don't expect it. If it happens, it happens. But I refuse to harp on it anymore. It's just to the point where we beat that dead horse into the ground, and it just needs to stop. They need to have already been to one already, just to shut everybody up.
Well, Brian, one thing to remember is every minute is a chance to turn it all around.
That's exactly right.
Never
for anybody listening to me.
Never give up on hope. There's always a chance. The Hail Mary clicks. The half-court shot goes in.
Of course, when Barnes is coaching you and you see your seed numbers of 6, I don't know if I'd pack for it this year. Matt, would you pack for it this year?
No. This team, it'd be really hard for this team to win 4 NCAA tournament games in a row.
And Barnes needs to be.
This isn't the team to do it.
Barnes needs to be what seed, Matt, with his tournament history to get there?
To make a Final Four, he needs to be a 1 seed.
I don't think he got a bad draw, though, for a
great
6 seed. I've got Tennessee going to the Sweet 16. I don't think it beats Iowa State, but I could see it beating Virginia.
I think anything can happen in this tournament. I just wish we were a little more healthy. If we were a little more healthy, man.
But who's healthy, Tony? You just know about Tennessee. Come on. Well, what does Mark say? If you're hurt, don't play.
What's Mark now?
Yeah.
I'll also add this. The Final Four is not a championship in and to itself. It's a media creation for hype purposes.
Oh, I like it, Brian. So basically
these programs that spend the Final Fours, they really don't have a leg up because they didn't win the national championship. So Tennessee and these programs like Auburn and Alabama, South Carolina, they have the same amount of national championships in men's basketball. That's 0.
So you're of the persuasion that you either win it all or you're nobody. You don't.
That's what I'm. Yeah, that's what I. They're closer. They're closer. Tennessee is closer to them than they are to programs like Florida and Kentucky who have won it all.
That's fair. You're not being swayed by the
recency.
The media. Just we have in one other sport. Think about it. In no other sport do you make it winning. In every other sport, it's all about a championship or nothing. Teams don't say, "Oh, we made the NFL playoff. We made the conference championship game," or it's only in college basketball. We almost make reaching the Final Four is like winning a championship.
Well, Omaha is similar in baseball.
That's good.
Making it to Omaha is sort of what you're going to celebrate, even if you
know
don't
what's sad,
go
Brian?
to. It's a season you can celebrate.
You know what's not fair about that comparison? Here's what's not fair about the comparison. That's the Elite Eight in basketball. Omaha. That's 8 teams. Rick Barnes has 2 College World Series appearances here. We don't think like. For some reason, that feels like a 4-team. It feels like the same thing, John, and it's not. It's making the Elite Eight. Isn't that weird when you stop and think about it?
Yeah, but the Final Four in no others. I just don't think in any other sport when you say Final Four,
right,
that's a destination.
That's right. Like when you get beat in the NFC Championship game, who cares? Like you're a loser. You didn't make the Super Bowl. I was in the Final Four, baby. Or when you get beat in the semifinals in the NBA, or what they call the conference finals now, which is really the semifinals.
Well, if you get and even in the Super Bowl,
yep.
I covered a lot of Super Bowls, and teams that lose that game, they're devastated.
Yeah, who remembers them?
It's almost like it becomes like they would have been better off not making it. I mean, people just they become the butt of jokes for making multiple Super Bowls and not winning. But in the if a coach or a team, a program makes the Final Four in college basketball, they're hailed as a success story. I'm glad Brian brought that up.
I am too. Brian, excellent job by you. Matt Diskin, anything else you'd care to add today? Because it's been utterly incredible.
No, it's a fun time of year. With,
it's
the
so
tournament.
fun.
I think it's probably the best 4 days of the sports calendar. Just the opening weekend, where how there's just games basically from noon to midnight for 4 days, and are always exciting, and it's always fun, and it's especially fun when your team's in it, and you have at least some hope that maybe you could win a game or two and advance in it. So it's a fun time of year.
I love every freaking minute of it. By the way, the Vols win Friday. We're planning a watch party on Sunday, so stay tuned, and I'll let you know where and when. But in the meantime, John Adams, thank you. Jennifer Morris, thank you for presenting, John. Brian, thank you. To Morris, Bri, we got a lot cooked tomorrow, lot cooking. Jerry
Palm returns.
Going to lend us a hand tomorrow.
He'll lend us a hand again.
Yeah. Reach out, Jerry Palm, and touch someone. That's what I say. In fact, take your whole self and put it right on that pane of glass. Leave your mark, Jerry Palm.
That's a good get for you and for Brian.
Do you think, John, that as a kid I probably my mouth would have got me beat up a few times? Chances that's true, yes or no? Because I told Jerry Palm, I thanked him for lending us a hand a time or two, and he goes, please don't do that.
Yeah, you would have.
I pushed it.
I guess you probably got somebody hit you at least once a week, I would have thought.
Bino said I could make the Pope cuss after being around me every day. We love you. We appreciate you. I thank you. I support you. John Adams today was next. next level. Check out his great article on Rusty Staub. LaGrange Orange. We love you. Peace. Another award-winning, thought-provoking, action-packed edition of the Tony Basilio Show is coming up next. Tips are always appreciated here at TonyBasilio.com, home of the Tony Basilio Show.
Listening to FM 105.7 and AM 1340, WKGN Knoxville and W289CU Knoxville. Fan Run Radio.
Stacked, packed, and jacked, ladies and gentlemen. You better believe it. You better know it. You better write it down. We are going to give you a preview for the ages today, firing you up, focusing you, and preparing you. We've got a play-by-play voice of SMU basketball. Get ready to join us. We are fired up, focused, and prepared. His name is Rich Phillips. John Adams is in the house after writing a rather lengthy piece on Rusty Staub, who, along with Faison Brandon and GMAC, along with our alleged offensive coordinator, will be meeting the media after today's practice. I've got Matt Dixon in the house, who's fired up, focused, and prepared. Brian Hartman's here as well. Mark Griffin in hour number 2. Sounds like we're pretty busy today, John. What do you think?
Well, I think you're always pretty busy. And when I come in here, I sense it because just walking through the doors here, it's a busy place.
Tell the living listener what I was doing today when you walked through here, because I'm trying to work something out now.
You're
a little behind the scenes here on me.
And I'm sure they will be enthralled by this. You'll be performing tonight at Calhoun's on the River.
That's
it's
correct.
Going to be an Irish concert.
That's right.
That
We're
right?
playing. Well, we got to mix some Irish stuff into our set because tonight's St. Patty's Day, and we're going to celebrate. We're out there at 5:30 tonight. I hope Matt Dixon comes by after the ball game. But yeah, we're going to be there. Jennifer Morris has now entered the chat over at YouTube. Good gosh almighty, we've hit the big time.
Really?
But here's the thing.
Slow day for Jennifer, I guess.
We have a lot to talk about. Matt, this SMU team, if we get them Friday, are they dangerous or no? Or are we going to put them down like they're not even there? What do you think?
Every team you see in the tournament's dangerous when you're a 6 seed.
That's right. B.J. Edwards, Matt, that Tennessee thinks this is kind of a ruse. Do you think he plays? What are your instincts on that?
I would guess no. But I have no insight there. I hope for his sake he does.
Yep.
And he's able to.
Yep.
Just because, he's a local kid. He's a senior.
Great
especially
story.
if they were to win and they face Tennessee. If he doesn't play, that would be that would be a really sad deal for him. So I hope he can play, but I kind of doubt it with all these guys. That if you haven't played in the last month or, couple of weeks, it's hard. It's hard to be in any kind of shape to be a positive impact on your team.
What kind of matchup you think we are for them before Rich Phillips calls, Matt? Or they are for us, I should say.
Well, they've got dynamic guards that, besides Edwards, who can provide a challenge for Tennessee. Tennessee's had a lot of trouble